And join this championship squad today, now serving 15 counties in central Arkansas.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz.
But now I'm counting this. Parmesan with my accountant lips. In fact, I'm down in this. You say with my boo babe tastes like Kool-Aid for the analyst. Girl, I can buy your Westie world with my base stuff. I know that it's good. Won't you sit it on my taste buds? I get way too petty once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Eat up your per diem. You just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes phone. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest funk. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like.
What is up? Welcome in. It is Out of Bounds. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin with you on a Monday weekend recap brought to you by Fleet Management Services. Got a big weekend to look back on. All kinds of news. Razorback news, of course, Final Four. We'll hit on the Final Four a little later. Aaron Torres, Fox Sports Radio. He's got his own podcast. He'll be joining us live from Indianapolis here in about 20 minutes or so. Now, if you've heard Aaron enough over the years, and he's done radio with us for years, he's a UConn guy. So we're going to get some UConn bias, I'm sure, from Aaron. It's going to be hard for him not to let his UConn bias come out. But I'll do my best to try to grill him since I think Michigan's going to win tonight. I don't know if they're going to cover. You know, Saturday night, I was just all over Michigan and covering, winning by double digits. I nailed the line, though. I told my brother-in-laws, I said, probably about 7. As soon as it came out, I saw it on Bet Saracen. Came out at 7. Joe, who you got tonight?
Oh, Michigan. They look really dominant, but you never know how these games will turn out. I mean, look at what happened on the other side. Women's tournament, you see South Carolina in a dominant victory over UConn, the team that everyone expected to go in and win, and then South Carolina gets dominated in championship games. So it's all about matchups, and just you can't score compare to say that this team won by so much and now they're going to win the next game. Doesn't happen like that. But I think Michigan has everything there is as far as being that complete team. They've been one of the best teams all year. UConn has had some ups and downs, had some downs during the season, but they have that championship makeup, that championship winning coach that, once again, the 4 teams that made it to Final Four, there wouldn't have been any surprises as far as any one of them winning a championship because everyone was high on Arizona. Michigan dominates them, and now it looks like they could be in line to go win, but UConn has championship makeup about them.
Yeah, they're going for their third and four years, and this team will get after you defensively. Michigan has scored over 90 points in all 5 of its NCAA tournament games, and their offense combined with their defense gets overlooked. That's what was killing Arizona. Michigan did what Arkansas couldn't do to Arizona.
Well, they got the bigs for it.
Well, that, and they were packing the paint. They're like, shoot the 3. We don't care. Arkansas, I felt like, allowed Arizona the driving lanes where Michigan did not give any driving lanes. It was so hard to get the ball inside for Arizona. Their help defense was awesome. All the deflections, the steals, turnovers that they caused, they did a great job defensively. And then you throw in the fact they knocked down 12 threes in the game, and Michigan rolls. But I think that's the story of this game is 2 great defenses going at it. Michigan, like I said, scores over 90 points a game in the NCAA tournament, and I looked on Bet Saracen. By the way, the line is still 7. It has gone down to 6.5 a couple times, but it's been back up to 7 and still at 7, or it's at 7 right now. Michigan's team total for tonight is 76.5. They've scored 90 all 5 games in the NCAA tournament. That shows you the respect of UConn's defense. 76.5 is the team total for Michigan. I went to that was in my mind. I was like, I think the bet of the night is Michigan team total. They're going to just score a ton of points, and I saw 76.5, and it was so low. I was like, okay, let me look into this a little bit more. and I started looking at UConn and their defense and what they've been doing to teams ever since a blowout or a loss when they gave up 80-something points in mid-February. That must have been like a wake-up call. That must have got the attention of the team. Hurley finally got their attention. Was like, if we're going to do anything, we're going to win because of defense. Ever since that game, they have been playing some really good defense and holding teams below at 72 or below. Duke got 72 on them. Somebody else got 72 on them. That's it. I mean, they're holding teams in the 60s, the 50s. So, look, Michigan's really good, obviously. But to have the over-under total at only 76.5 for Michigan, that opened my eyes. I'm like, this is going to be UConn's probably going to get this at a pace that they want, and it's going to be a low-scoring game. So I didn't bet it. I didn't touch the 76.5 over.
Wagering, they not only look at trends, but they look at history. And not that you can say last year had something to do with this year, but they look at history of championship games. Championship games for NCAA tournament final, it's they traditionally are lower scoring games. And it comes down to a slower pace, the possession type games, and that is something that they're definitely going to pay attention to is just championship game settings. They usually are lower scoring.
Well, that game, drink some coffee tonight, get ready to stay up late. It's a late tip-off. I think it was like 7:45, 7:49, something like that, the exact time for it. Here, I'll give you the exact time. I thought it would. Now my phone's locking up. Yeah, here we go. Tip time, 7:49. So you're looking at probably 10:15 when it's that's not that late.
Well, we'll see if they actually tip at 7:49.
Over under.
There'll be a big build up to it though for sure.
Over under, by the way, for this game's 145.5. You go back to the last Michigan game with Arizona. That over under was it opened up at like 160 and went all the way down to 158.5, 150. I think maybe even 158. And all week I was like, man, I love the over in this game. I think it's going up. I think it's going to be. Had to sweat it. It did. Finally, it went over. I think they scored, 165, 166 points. But
it had to be because of Michigan, too, because if it was Arizona, they wouldn't have gotten close to it.
Well, the key was finally at the end when Michigan started kind of relaxing a little bit, Arizona's got some points and scored, probably like 10, 15 points there towards the end of the game. They helped push it over. But Michigan will enter this game as a 7-point favorite, over under 145.5 on Bet Saracen. There you go. That's the lines. We'll have more from Aaron Torres coming up in about 15 minutes. The news of the day, Arkansas's DJ Wagner has entered the transfer portal, and it caught me a little bit by surprise. I thought DJ was going to stick around for his senior year, and this is on 3 Sports reporting it. He plans to enter the portal. Portal opens tomorrow, but this is their national guys reporting it, and usually they're on top of things. But I thought with Jordan Smith coming in, who is more of a natural 2-guard, that DJ would be the point guard next year and get a lot of play at point guard. He wouldn't have to take a back seat next year like he did this year for Darius Acuff. But I was wrong. I think the plan is to play Jordan Smith more at point guard and let him lead the team. I think the NBA sees Jordan Smith as a point guard, and so if Jordan Smith, who obviously wants to play in the NBA, wants to impress the NBA scouts and get their attention, he's got to play point guard. And so that's the plan. So Jordan Smith's going to play a little bit more point guard, a lot point guard, and DJ saw the writing on the wall and was like, you know what, don't want to do it again. This is my last year. I want to go out and play point guard and get to play a lot of minutes and, give it a run.
That's what it comes down to, wanting to play more, wanting to just spend more time on the floor altogether. And so you see this all the time with players that aren't playing the amount of time that they would like to, that they're going to look at other situations to see if maybe there's a better situation for them.
Well, the DJ Wagner news follows the Carter Knox news. I guess that was Thursday evening after we signed off. Or was that Friday? Was that Friday while we were off when Carter Knox entered the portal?
Probably Friday.
Friday. So Arkansas's got 2 departures from the portal. That leaves a possibility of a core group returning of Isaiah Sealy, Malik Ewan, Maybe Billy Richmond, maybe Malik Thomas. Got to wait and see about the NBA draft with those guys. But as of now, a core group of guys who were part of the team, 4 guys coming back.
And you're looking at a possibility of one guy. It could be Isaiah Sealy standing as the lone guy, and he's somebody that you're worried about him from the beginning, maybe portal-wise, if he was somebody that was going to look at other opportunities. But if it comes down to that being the case where he's going to be the one guy that returns, then there's a lot of upside for him.
Mm-hmm. Should be some playing time. I got the Carter Knox. The Carter Knox stuff did not catch me off guard or did not, I wanted Carter Knox to come back, don't get me wrong. But when you look at what Carter Knox is facing with J.J. Andrews coming in, Abdou Toure coming in, possibly Billy Richmond's coming back. Look, Billy took his minutes. Once Carter Knox went out, those were Billy's minutes, and he thrived. So if he comes back, then you're fighting for playing time. And Carter Knox, after sitting a lot this year, not playing much at all, what he needs next year is playing time. And Carter Knox still has a lot of value, and there may have been a team out there that was talking to his people saying, hey, we can get you X amount of dollars if you come here and you're going to be the guy. So that makes sense to me. And, with DJ, it does make sense. It's just I was thinking the plan would be DJ Moore point and putting Jordan Smith over at the 2 guard to complement DJ, but I don't think that's the plan for now. Or no, it's not the plan. Apparently, it's going to be unless they can go out. There are a lot of point guards. There are a lot of guards in the portal. I've been keeping an eye on the portal because I'm looking for big guys, right? I'm looking for big men, and I'll see, this guy's entered the portal, and I start reading about him like, no, he's a point or he's a 2 guard. He don't need him. They may go out and try to find a point guard in the portal, a guy that can play a little bit and be a complimentary piece. Probably need one, right?
Maybe looking at a whole new team. Just with the possibilities of departures and just seeing how it shakes out and who ends up coming back, who ends up staying, could be a whole new team in place.
We'll have Coach Z on here tomorrow, and just because season's over doesn't mean there's not things to talk about with Razorbacks basketball. That's for sure. With the portal opening tomorrow, guys going in the portal, Arkansas will start signing guys out of the portal and starting to piece together next year's team. It'll be good to have Coach Z on here. Over on the Diamond, you have the Razorback softball team doing really well. They are looking to sweep Auburn. They play tonight. That's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. They're on the SEC network tonight, and the softball team is just rolling and putting together some good performances on the inside the circle and at the plate. So they'll go for the sweep tonight. And then the baseball team dropped 2 out of 3 against Auburn. They lost the first game Thursday night, and it was just a brutal performance. I listened to it. I drove down to Louisiana Thursday night. No, when was that? I watched that game Thursday, and it was just a very disappointing start from Gabe Gackle. Then the bullpen came in, couldn't get anything done. The fielding wasn't very good. They're just making some – they're not so much racking up a bunch of errors. They're just not making plays that could determine how many runs the other team scores. And when you're not getting good hitting, it just kind of magnifies the situation. When you don't make the play in the field and they get a couple of runs that you really could have prevented, and it's a struggle at the plate, it just makes things even worse.
Well, it got late into that second game, and they were able to pull that one off, or they could have been looking at a complete disaster there.
Yeah, that was the Ryder Helfrich game, and the pitching staff did a fantastic job in Game 2 and held them to 2 total runs. I tell you what, McIlvain, I think you're going to see more and more out of McIlvain. He came in the last 2 innings. And Dietz, I expect Dietz to be, if it hasn't already happened, let me look over on Twitter. We'll have Matt Jones with us at 2:10. He's at the Swatters Club right now. Dave Van Horn is speaking with the Swatters Club and talking with the media, and I'm sure I hope we get some pitching plans for this weekend. But I expect Dietz to be the starting pitcher on Friday. Saturday, I have no idea. Sunday, I have no idea. I don't know what they're going to do. I think Colin Fisher's done as the Sunday night game or the Game 3 starter. And I think Dietz moves into Game 1, and I think Gackle goes back to the bullpen because Gackle out of the bullpen has been really good. Now, 2 years in a row, trying him as a starter. It hasn't worked. Just something there. I don't know what it is. Apparently they don't know what it is because they've tried it again, and again it hasn't worked, and it's just not the same Gabe Gackle. So I expect a change to be there. And I'm kind of curious to hear what Dave Van Horn has to say about pitching plans for this weekend and who are some of the candidates and what they're kind of thinking. But and then hitting was an issue pretty much all weekend. Ryder Helfrich saved them in Game 2 with 2 home runs. And then on Saturday for Game 3, you had Arkansas score 3 runs in the second inning, I believe it was, top of the second. And the freshman got a big hit right up the middle, two RBI single, and it was 3-0. And I thought, all right, they got a chance. And I think Auburn scored 8 straight runs to end the game, and they lose 8-3. But once again, starting pitching, bullpen, did not get it done. And Arkansas's limping, losing 2 out of 3. That's now 5 out of 6 SEC games they've lost. They've dropped in the rankings. In fact, I think it's one of the polls so far that I've seen left them out. 2 of the other polls have them at number 22. So they're just hanging on. And this week they go to Alabama and play a 3-game series against the Crimson Tide. Women's golf made news over the weekend with Maria Jose Marin winning the Augusta National Amateur Championship for women. She did that on Saturday. Pretty cool. She got a lot of love over the weekend on the Golf Channel and on the PGA Tour event, showing some clips of her. That was an awesome victory. First time for an Arkansas golfer to win that. And then the gymnastics team, how about them? They made it to the national tournament.
That's big.
One of the final 8 teams as they came in second place in their regional. And as a 9 seed, a mild surprise. They knocked off or had more points than the 8 seed that was also in their regional. And I guess that was Missouri. And so as a top 2 finisher in regional, you qualify for the national tournament. So they'll go to the national tournament. April, I think, 15th, 16th, 17th, right in there.
Yeah, right around there.
So it was
because
good.
they've been advertising that during Final Four. Been having it on the banners.
Yes, and I watched. I was watching because I was in Louisiana with my brother-in-laws, and so I had to watch the end of the LSU Tennessee game. You want to talk about struggles too? Tennessee struggling just like Arkansas. Tennessee was up 5-0 in this game, and LSU came back and scored in the 9th inning to tie it up. Then they each scored in the 10th, made it 6-6, and LSU put up 10 runs in the 12th inning.
Yeah, and a 4 home run performance helps the cause there too.
It was amazing, man. Every time he came to the plate, he'd already hit 2, and my little nephew was like, "You think he can hit another one?" I'm like, "Man, he's seeing it well." Wouldn't surprise me. Next pitch, bam, opposite field. He came up in the 11th inning. He was like, "Could he do it again?" I'm like, "Why not?" Next pitch, home run, almost over the scoreboard.
Because there was an accomplishment MLB-wise where same player had 3 home run robberies. But when you think about that, a player is, even though it's both of them are rare feats, you could see that it's more likely someone would hit 3 or 4 home runs in a game than someone robbed 3 home runs in a game. It's more likely you're going to have a player that hits more home runs than players that will rob multiple home runs like that.
That was an amazing performance in itself. And the last one, when he dives over the wall, lands in the stands, stands up, holds the ball up in the 9th inning to save the game, and somebody was behind him and took a picture. It is one of the best pictures ever. I mean, he's standing there holding his glove up, facing the infield. Just a perfect picture that somebody snagged right behind him. It was all over social media yesterday, and I was like, man, that is fantastic. All right, that's what we got to discuss today. A little basketball with the Razorbacks. Got spring football going on. Defensive line coaches are speaking with the media today. Had a scrimmage on Saturday. Heard from Silverfield on Saturday also. It was a busy weekend. That's your weekend recap brought to you by Fleet Management Services. We'll have much more about all those topics throughout the show. But coming up next, we're going to head to Indianapolis and catch up with Aaron Torres from Fox Sports Radio. get his thoughts on the championship game tonight. Bet Saracen now has Michigan a 6.5-point favorite. I'm telling you, it keeps teetering back and forth, depending on who you want. Keep an eye on that line because it's constantly moving. The over-under's up to 146. It was 145.5 a little earlier. More from Indianapolis when we come back. This is Out of Bounds.
Chris Kane joins Morning Mayhem each Monday to mix it up with the guys. Chris Kane on Morning Mayhem is presented by Trader Bill's. Trader Bill's, your one-stop shop for all things Lake.
This is Sports Center.
The number 6 Arkansas softball team used its home run power and solid pitching from Peyton Burnham to blank Auburn 4-0 in Fayetteville on Sunday. The Razorbacks got home runs from Tiana Bell, Atalia Rio, and Kaylee Wyckoff. Ella McDowell was the only Razorback with multiple hits, finishing 2 for 3 with a run scored. Burnham pitched a complete game 2-hitter with 2 hit batsmen, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Arkansas will go for the series sweep at 6 o'clock tonight. That game will be televised on SEC Network. Moving to baseball, Blake Simpson hit a grand slam in the 7th inning for the Little Rock Trojans on Sunday, but it wasn't enough as they fell 8-5 to Western Illinois in Macomb, Illinois. They'll travel to Fayetteville tomorrow to take on the Razorbacks. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
To celebrate their partnership with the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, your Arkansas Chevy dealers are giving away a 2027 Chevy Silverado 1500. For complete rules and to register to win, current Arkansas Game and Fish license holders should visit ChevySweepstakes.com/Arkansas Truck Hunt or see your Arkansas's best Chevy dealer for more details. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents 18 years or older who reside in Arkansas. Contest ends 12/31/26. Void where prohibited.
Tune in each week to Out of Bounds to hear from Lone Oak Steel Eaves. Omaha is the goal, and we're looking for a great season. Steel Eaves is brought to you by Stephen Elmore with Shelter Insurance. For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Stephen Elmore or give him a call at 501-537-0959.
It's never too late to become better. The Arkansas Senior Olympics, presented by UAMS, invites men and women aged 40 and older to compete in the 3-on-3 half-court basketball tournament April 25th in Benton. This event qualifies teams for the 2027 National Games in Tulsa. The deadline to register is April 11th. Team fee is $250 for up to 10 players or 9 players and a coach. Volunteers and sponsors are also needed. Learn more and register at arseniorolympics.org.
Arkansas, your moment has arrived. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Southland Casino, is officially live in your state. Now you can make every matchup even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, player props, and more, all from your phone. It's safe, secure, and easy to use. And to get things started, new Arkansas customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, just non-stop action. Powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 1037THEBUZZ. New Arkansas customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 1037THEBUZZ. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Southland Casino. Gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-522-4700. 21 and over. Arkansas only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
With many convenience and grocery stores moving to mostly self-checkout these days, nowhere is it easier to shop than at your local Family Market. Friendly staff give you the very best in customer service, including bagging all your items. And you can save inside the store and outside at the pumps with your Family Market rewards cards. Don't miss Big Mondays. Mid-grade gas for the price of regular and premium for the price of mid-grade. All of this can only be found at Family Market in Pangburn, Malvern, Shannon Hills, Mayflower, Hot Springs, and Worcester, with a second Hot Springs location coming soon. And if there's not a Family Market in your neighborhood, look again. One's coming.
The board-certified, fellowship-trained physicians at Martin Orthopedics provide complete care for students, adults, and athletes. At Martin Orthopedics, the surgeons and staff pay exceptional attention to every patient's needs. When you go to Martin Orthopedics, every member of the team aims to help patients return to their normal daily activities or playing the sport they love without pain. Whether it's your knee, hip, or shoulder, the physicians at Martin Orthopedics stand ready to assist. For more information or to set up your consultation online, go to martinortho.care.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Online at TruService.net.
Sun is hot and that old clock is moving slow, and so am I. Workday passes like molasses in wintertime, but it's July. I'm getting paid by the hour and older by the minute. My boss just pushed me over the limit. I'd like to call him something. I think I'll just call it a day.
Arkansas is known as the natural state, and around here, conservation isn't just a priority, it's a way of life. That's why Arkansas's best Chevy dealers are proud to partner with the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission to help drive habitat conservation. In honor of this partnership, your Arkansas Chevy dealers are celebrating in a big way. They're giving away a 2027 Chevy Silverado 1500, a natural choice for the natural state that offers strength and capability that stands out from the rest. For complete rules and registration, go to ChevySweepstakes.com/Arkansas Truck Hunt. ChevySweepstakes.com/Arkansas Truck Hunt. Or see your Arkansas Best Chevy dealers for more details. No purchase necessary to win. It's open to legal residents 18 years or older who live in Arkansas. Contest ends at the end of the year. Void where prohibited. Westmore, Joe Franklin with you on Out of Bounds. Let's head up to Indianapolis. Bring in Aaron Torres, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Aaron? How are you?
Good, fellas. How we doing?
Good.
All right, man. Can you? Is it possible to take off your UConn hat for like 10 minutes and talk about this game?
I hung out all day yesterday with Connor Stallions and his amazing family. Biggest Michigan fans I've ever met. So I will tell you what I told them. We could take off the UConn hat and say, I think Dan Hurley is the best coach in the business. I don't know who is second. This will be the toughest task that he has had to date. So, yes, zero doubt about that.
Wait, go back to Connor Stallions. How'd that happen? I saw you tweet that out, your interview with Connor Stallions.
Yeah, he, I was never as anti-Michigan as others. We don't have to get into all the semantics. It's, a 4-year-old story at this point. What's done is done. But I thought there was a lot of misinformation out there. I mean, listen, there was very clearly a media smear by someone, and I think we'll find out soon who it is. When you have a new story breaking every day, somebody was trying to take down Michigan, and he unfortunately was the bystander of it. So I was always sort of a Michigan defender during that process. And then when his documentary came out on Netflix a few years ago, maybe it was last year, I can't remember, I just tweeted out some positive things. He followed me. He thanked me, privately for just, listening to both sides of the story, and we've stayed in touch. And, he's the ultimate Michigan man. I'm the ultimate UConn man. We were both in Indianapolis. We said, let's do it. And we talked for about an hour yesterday. It was really fun. We talked a lot about what did happen at Michigan, but also, his relationships with guys like Jim Harbaugh. I mean, I think it's easy to forget, worked 2 years under Jesse Minter, who, of course, is now the Baltimore Ravens head coach, worked a year under Mike McDonald, who, of course, just won a Super Bowl. So it was a really fun conversation. Definitely encourage people to check it out, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify. Really good guy, great family, a lot different than I think he was portrayed in the media.
UConn's had a lot of success here in the last 4 years or so under Dan Hurley, back-to-back championships. When you look at this year's team, what are some similarities and some differences from now and those championship back-to-back winning teams?
I think the only real similarity is that Dan Hurley's the head coach, I was one that kind of gave up on them in the middle of the season. I don't know that Dan Hurley ever did, but he did admit, he admitted at one of his media availabilities this week, he thought coming into this year, this had a chance to be his best offensive team ever, his best shooting team ever, which is obviously saying something going back to those 23 and 24 national champions. And it just hasn't worked out. There's been some injuries, lineup changes, guys in and out of the lineup because of injuries. And so I only bring it up because, he's kind of had to change who the team is, how he plays, how he wants to play. And that really, to me, is the only similarity. I mean, a few years ago, you had elite defenses paired with elite offenses, and especially in 2024 when UConn won the title, going 37-3, it was almost like Michigan. There was no real great answer to slow them down. You just had to hope for the perfect storm to even have a chance. This team is much, much different as we've seen through the tournament. I mean, guys, listen, it's easy to forget. They could have lost to Furman in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. I think they shot 4 of 22 from 3. That was the game that Terrace Reed had literally, I'm not making this up, 31 points and 27 rebounds. And if you didn't watch the game, they needed every single one of them. So I could go on and on, but to me, Dan Hurley is really the only variable that's the same, other than that you have that great coach with a group of kids that 100% buys into his vision and is willing to do whatever it takes to win at the highest level.
Well, there was a player, Alex Caravan, that was on those championship-winning teams. What type of season has he had this year?
Well, I'm having a little trouble hearing you guys. You said, what type of season is he having, Joe?
Yeah. So he was on those championship teams.
Okay. Yeah, no, I got you.
What type of season is he having?
No, he is, guys, he is such a throwback to probably, frankly, the reason that a lot of the three of us and a lot of the listeners love college basketball is, again, he's just like what I just said a minute ago about UConn is the role has kind of changed. He was kind of this Swiss Army knife offensive guy that's about 6'9", 6'10", that could do a little bit of everything, but was really like a fourth option as a freshman and sophomore. Last year, I think, he was kind of thrust into the, okay, you're the guy, and he might just not, that just might not be who he is. And now, he has come back. He's a little bit of everything. He had a career high earlier in the tournament in the Duke game. And then it was crazy because, I was fortunate enough to have a pretty good seat for the game on Saturday night. And remember, Illinois is statistically the biggest team in college basketball, or was this season. And, I mean, he's having to guard fives at about 6'8", 6'9". So, Joe, it's a great question by you. And I think what I would say is it really just speaks to, again, you just don't find that many of those type players in college basketball anymore that stay for 4 years, that are willing to, adapt their role to the team's needs. It's actually been a pretty cool story to follow.
Got Aaron Torres with us on the D3 Auto Sales Hotline. You can hear him on Fox Sports Radio. Check out his podcast, Aaron Torres Pod. Hey, Aaron, Michigan's offense, everybody's talking about it, 90 points a game, every game in the NCAA tournament, but their defense is what impressed me and the way they shut down Arizona. You see this as just a defensive slugfest, a battle tonight on the defensive end?
Yeah, I think, barring something that they really haven't done, this is UConn since November, I think that's the only way UConn can win. And the one thing I will say, when you're at a game, you guys know this, you're covering a game, you have to go live. Wes, I know you do a lot of instant reactions. There are times where, you see something, but then a day or two later after you process it, you kind of see the game in a different lens. And I think in hindsight, I probably wasn't critical enough of Arizona in the moment on Saturday night. And I just gave all the credit to Michigan. But I just thought Arizona's game plan in hindsight was terrible. They fell down early, and then they basically want to get into a track meet with them, and you can't do that with this Michigan team. And so I think that UConn, Dan Hurley's smart enough to know you got to take time off the clock. You're going to have to make threes. You can't let them get out in transition. Because I think even Dan Hurley would admit, and I haven't heard everything that he said yesterday at his press conference, but I think he would admit there is a quite literal big advantage in the front court for the Michigan Wolverines. And so you can't try to go bucket for them. You can't try to go up and down with them. You do have to kind of keep it close and low scoring. So we'll see what happens. But I think there's no doubt in my mind, Wes, that I agree with what you said, is that it's got – listen, will it be? I don't know, because that's been – what I think, Tennessee thought that was the plan against them and a few others. Will it be? I don't know. But I do think for UConn to have a chance to win, that is how they're going to have to play.
How about UConn, Illinois? How would you break down what you saw from that game?
Joe, again, I honestly did not hear that question.
Okay,
there's some major static on my end. I don't know if it's on my end or your guys.
The game that we just saw, UConn, Illinois. What were your impressions? How would you break down what you saw there?
Okay, I heard that one. So great question. So I'll say this is so. Okay, so let me even backtrack. So I saw that Kenny Smith said that he was picking UConn tonight because he said UConn shoots the ball too well, and he's worried about Michigan. That performance from UConn against Illinois was the outlier. That is not how they have shot the ball all year. I saw a stat. Listen, you make 10 threes in a game. It's obviously a great game, but they lost to Creighton on February 18th. They had only made 10 threes in a game one time since February 18th. So we're now talking about, 6, 7, 8 weeks at this point, and they shoot, I think, 12 of 23 or something like that on Saturday night against Illinois. So, listen, if they shoot like that, it'll be, UConn might just, win. But, I've seen enough games to know that that's not really who they've been. And so it's hard for me to just presume that's who they will be on tonight. But that was my big takeaway. They make shots, and when you make shots, all of a sudden it makes everything look a lot easier.
Last one for you, Aaron. I know you got to go. Mike Malone to North Carolina. Your reaction?
So, listen, I think everything that you're going to hear from everybody else is how I feel. I don't blame them for going after Tommy Lloyd, maybe Dusty May. I don't know if either was realistic. I think the whole time Tommy Lloyd was trying to leverage some things at Arizona. I don't blame them for going after the biggest names in college basketball. They pivoted quickly. I would have been okay if they had waited a week for Billy Donovan. I'll say this. I actually think the biggest story is I think Billy Donovan dropped the ball. I think he's going to get fired in Chicago, and maybe he just doesn't want to work, and maybe he wants to, just sit on the beach and chill. But it's like this job was kind of his for the taking, and, he basically pulled the reverse Bobby Petrino when Bobby Petrino came to Arkansas. He said, I am not even considering other jobs until this season is over. When Bobby Petrino was with the Falcons, all he did was consider jobs before the season was over. So, anyway, I thought it was a little bit of a fumble by him. With Mike Malone, I do think it's all the cliches of, the right people around him. The game has changed. I think the one thing, and I did just tweet it out, for all the criticism of Hubert Davis, in theory, North Carolina would have had a very good team on the floor if Hubert Davis was back. A couple key players should return. It's North Carolina. You'd hope NIL isn't an issue. And they do have 2 5-stars committed as well that so far have not decommitted since Hubert Davis was fired. So I think if you can just retain most of the guys that Hubert Davis already lined up for you, then it just completely changes the dynamic of having to jump 2 feet into this portal thing, which is going to be crazy for everybody. You might only have to get a player or 2 from the portal, if you're Mike Malone, if you do this right and if you can retain everybody. So we'll see what happens. I'll add this too, guys. I'll put a little bit of an Arkansas twist on this. I saw the DJ Wagner news. I know you guys will cover that. But I will say, for all of the conversation about, high school recruiting versus the portal, I think this, the North Carolina thing, but also the Arkansas thing, it's a pretty big piece of why I think if you can get the right high school kids, high school still matters, right? Because everybody the next few weeks is going to be scrambling in the portal. And Arkansas is we already got 3 really good pieces set independent of who comes back, who leaves, who even enters the portal, and all of that. So I think that's an interesting byproduct of this as well. North Carolina having 2 5-stars, all that good stuff. I've said my piece on them. I've said my piece on Arkansas, and I appreciate you guys having me.
See you, man. Take care. Enjoy the game.
No problem. Take care.
Aaron Torres, Fox Sports Radio. His podcast, Aaron Torres Pod. Does a good job. I've watched a lot of his stuff over on YouTube. We'll take a break. When we come back, open segment. If you want to jump in here, come on, 661-1037. I'll check the Middleton Heat and Air text line. It's out of bounds.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus, lots of fun choices. Like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-382-9100. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-382-9100. That's 501-382-9100.
Are you newly engaged or almost there? Well, this is your sign to say yes. Say yes to the Arkansas Democrat Gazette Wedding Show Sunday, April 26th at Hendrix College in Conway. Meet more than 30 exhibitors, see fashion, and win giveaways at the Conway Wedding Show. Sponsored in part by Dillard's and Crown Entertainment. Tickets are just $10 in advance to the April 26th Conway Wedding Show. Visit ArkansasBridalCommunity.com for more information or call 501-378-3807.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-960-3377. That's 800-960-3377. 800-960-3377.
Experience the unmistakable difference today at D3 Auto Sales in Des Arc. D3 Auto Sales is your home for quality used trucks, SUVs, and cars from all the top brands, specializing in unique custom lifted and leveled used trucks, including four-wheel drives. And this commitment to excellence extends to their full-service 10-bay service department as well. Also looking to trade in or sell your vehicle? D3 Auto always pays top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. D3AutoSales.com. Arkansas sports fans, this is a night you don't want to miss. The 68th Annual Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame Induction Banquet is happening April 10th at the Oaklawn Event Center. From championship moments to legendary careers, they're honoring the icons who built Arkansas sports. For information on tickets and tables, visit arksportshalloffame.com or by calling 501-313-4158. Celebrate the legends, relive the moments, and be a part of Arkansas sports history April 10th.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz, live from the TruService Credit Union Studios.
Welcome back. It is Out of Bounds. Glad you're with us on this Monday, National Championship Day. 7:49 tonight. UConn, Michigan. Who you got? What are you thinking? We'll hit the Middleton Heat and Air text line in just a second. Let's go to Rick. He's in East Arkansas. What's up, Rick?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
I hear you loud and
We
clear.
got you.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Because y'all my favorite guys because y'all fact. Not that I don't love some of the other shows.
Yeah,
but 3 points. 3 points for me. Cal will take care of everything if he gets a big man. That's number one. Number two, it's okay. We'll win enough games. I done called in twice. If we make it, won't host a regional, but if we can win a regional and go to a super regional and lose, that's okay. That's okay for this year in baseball. And then my third thing is, you think Arkansas football can win 5 next year? That's what I really want, 5 games. You think we can do it, guys?
Rick, thank you for the call. I have no idea. I haven't seen him practice. Very few people have seen him practice. I have talked to guys who have been practicing. Did an interview with Sutton Smith the other day, and it hit me when I was talking to Sutton Smith, and he's throwing out all these names of guys that he's been impressed with. And I'm like, I haven't seen that guy play. This is going to be a totally different team. There's going to be so many new faces, pieces, and it all starts at quarterback. We've never seen either one of these quarterback play for extended games. So there's just no way of knowing. In football, though, I can say you can have a complete turnaround a lot quicker. And, well, every sport now with the transfer portal, you can turn things around a lot quicker. In the old days, you had to build. You got a new coach came in, you're like, all right, this is going to be a 2-year rebuild. Maybe by year 3 they'll be, have a chance to do something special. Now, with the portal and bringing in 50, 60 new players, things can turn around quickly. But or it could be a complete bust again. I have no idea. And until we see these guys on the field and get a feel for what they can do, it's hard to say.
Yeah, and even the non-conference games, just don't know. And they are, with Utah, that would seem like it would be a tougher matchup. But Utah, they're going through some changes there, so don't know what to expect from that game. And, of course, we know that to win 5, it comes down to you're going to have to win some conference games to win at least 5 games. 6 games, always being hopeful of being a bowl team, being in bowl contention. But, it's a big unknown.
Yeah, you don't beat Utah. You got to win 4 SEC games just to become bowl eligible. A Utah game's kind of big going out to Utah week 2. You win that, take care of all your non-conference games, and all of a sudden, if you can get 3 SEC victories, then maybe you can you'll go to a bowl. But yeah, I mean, when you just look at the roster shakeup and all the different changes and guys coming in, I will say this is a name to watch out for. Kamari House. Everyone I've talked to is raving about him. He's the transfer from Kentucky that played linebacker for Kentucky or North Carolina and led the team in tackles. There's so many new guys, I get them confused. Led the team in tackles, but he's been moved to the star position. It's kind of a hybrid linebacker / safety, and he also is going to blitz the quarterback. It sounds like this guy is going to be maybe the candidate to lead the team in tackles. Right?
Starts with coaching staff, too. We don't know what to expect from the staff. Like, everything is fresh.
Yes. Everything is brand new. All right, let's go to the Middleton Heat and Air text line. JW says, Wes, I tried to tell you about the baseball team 2 months ago. Hope you can get on board with the truth. This is the worst team Dave Van Horn has had. I'm not ready to go say that it's the worst because that team a decade ago that lost 13 in a row to finish the year and missed the NCAA tournament, that's the worst team he's had. I just think this team has more talent than that team. I mean, this team has guys that's going to be taken in the first couple of days or first day of the draft. I still think I've got faith in Dave Van Horn that they can turn things around. They're not as bad as they look right now. Probably not as good as they looked when they took 2 or 3 from Mississippi State. Probably somewhere in the middle. But I still believe it's the NCAA tournament team, and if they can put it all together at the right time and start playing their best baseball, there's still some hope for this team. But there is no doubt they're not playing good right now. That's just a simple fact. Pitching is a question mark. Bullpen's a question mark. Hitting is a question mark. But all it takes is one weekend, turns it around, get a little confidence, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, maybe they can still host a regional. Maybe they can get this going. Maybe they can still get to Omaha. But I'm not done with them yet. Let's go to Ryan. What's up, Ryan?
I will say this. I think it's probably the worst team since 2022. You know, that team comes kind of close to missing the after season as well. But, you know, they had that controversy with trying not to delve too deep in that, but it galvanized them. They kind of came together. And, you know, that team was headed to missing postseason too. So, you know, went their way. But while you're on that subject, but I called to kind of finish up my call from the other day. I do believe if they can hit on the quarterback, but I do believe this offense can be something special with who they've added with what you were talking about with Marshall. And you know what we heard out of CC is if they can get what they say out of CC, we could have a tandem we haven't seen in a long time at receiver.
Yeah, Chris Marshall's been making play after play. If you saw some of the highlights that the university released from Saturday's scrimmage, he had a couple of nice plays. And, yeah, they're talking up CC and his return and how smart he is and can play every single position. I'll say this. I think, Ryan, the deepest position on this team is wide receiver. I think they've got eight legit guys that can play for them.
And I'm loving, too, what they're saying about Crutchfield is coming on, too. So he could be a legit number 2 or 3. And like this could be the deepest receiver room we've seen in a long time. And I have no doubt we're going to put together a good running game with what we've got in the offensive line. As good as it was last year, I think it's probably going to be how it's going to be better. I think it's going to be more disciplined. You're not going to see as many snap infractions.
That's the point. Got to get that offensive line going. Hour number 2 next.
You hear me promoting many of our beloved clients on the bus, and they are all special and dear to me. So to all of those clients, I say thank you. In fact, my wife thanks you as well, along with our Amazon delivery person who comes by the house daily because of you. But let me tell you about a client that's been near and dear to my heart for over the past decade. A very special client who's become a friend to me and my family over the years. In fact, they've become like family too. Yep, that's right. Of course, I'm talking about Gravely Mowers. I've been a proud Gravely owner for years, and I've used everything of theirs from the 21-inch push mower to their 72-inch commercial unit, including my favorite, the ZT Heavy Duty 60-inch. And now is the best time to get the brand new Gravely of your choice, too. Why do you ask? How about 0% interest over 48 months? Now you're interested? Sure you are. So join the Gravely family if you hadn't already by stopping at your local Gravely dealer today, like F.L. Davis Cash Lumber in Clinton or Haynes Home Center in Morrilton.
Join the Zone Wednesday at Burrow and Mr. Frank's Optical in the Heights. Family owned and operated, featuring high-end designer eyewear you can't find anywhere else.
Our guys aren't so bad, right?
This is taking unsportsmanlike conduct to a whole new level.
Well, maybe not. 103.7 The Buzz, KABZ, Little Rock.
Four counties will be recounting votes today in the Republican primary runoff for Secretary of State. Brian Norris lost to State Senator Kim Hammer by fewer than 1,000 votes. Norris has asked for recounts in Washington County, Grant County, White County, and Miller County today. A recount was already held in Baxter County on Friday. Saline County is set to have a recount tomorrow. And a downtown Little Rock staple is closing its doors after nearly 4 decades. The last day for Ariana's Pizza in the River Market is April 17th. Restaurant leaders posted it on social media saying it's not a time to be sad, but to celebrate the 39 years it has served the people of Arkansas. Owners did hint at their story not being over, saying, quote, "See you again soon." For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm Kara Case, Jessica Rockwell.
The 22nd annual Double B's BuzzBQ is coming up May 9th at the downtown Riverside RV Park in North Little Rock. Sample barbecue from some of the best barbecue cooks in Arkansas, competing for the coveted BuzzBQ Grand Champion Trophy. The 22nd annual Double B's BuzzBQ, May 9th, brought to you by Oaklawn Sports, Bud Light, and Finch Brokers. Get your tickets at buzzbq.com.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
It's going to be a beautiful sunny day with a high of 71 degrees, a northeast wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, clear, wind becoming calm at times. We'll drop down to 47, so another chilly night. Tomorrow, another fine day, partly cloudy with a high of 72. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
For Pulaski County residents and businesses, do recycling right by recycling old electronic equipment. How? Come to North Little Rock Simmons Bank Arena parking lot on Tuesday, April 7th or Wednesday, April 8th for an electronic recycling event. Learn more at recyclingunplugged.com. If it's electronic and no longer usable, drop it off, and we'll recycle it for free. For information, go to recyclingunplugged.com.
At Southland Casino Hotel, this April the pedals are blooming and the payouts are booming. Join us Saturdays in April from 7 to 11 p.m., where over 200 hourly winners will share in more than $200,000 in free play. Earn your entries April 1st through 25th. Just 50 points gets you one entry. And get ready, because at 11 p.m., your free play doubles. Spring into your chance to win big with pedals and payouts. Only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Around here, reputation matters. That's why homeowners and business owners turn to the professionals at CertaPro Painters for their painting projects. From detailed residential painting to professionally managed commercial projects, our crews deliver craftsmanship that protects your investment and enhances curb appeal. Spring weather won't last forever, and neither will the open slots on the schedule. If painting is on your list this year, now's the time. Call CertaPro Painters or visit CertaPro.com and reserve your spring project today. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy.
ESPN Radio Extra Point with Matt Jones.
The UConn story is amazing to me. I mean, this is a program that 35 years ago really had no history of which to speak. And then over the course of time, got to Elite Eights, knocked out by a Leitner shot. But then really starting in 99, their record is unbelievable. And it's not just that they have a chance to win their 7th title in the last 27 years. It's the fact that when they go to the Final Four, they win it. It's the fact that Danny Hurley is 15-0 from the Sweet 16 on. It's also interesting to me that in those 27 years where they've made 7 championship games, they've also missed the tournament 9 times. It's such a feast or famine thing, but then when they get in these moments, they succeed and they win. All the way going back to Kimball Walker and Shabazz Napier, they are unlike any other program in the country.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
You've said it before. This will only take a second. Just a quick glance. A fast reply. But on the road, seconds don't wait for you. They decide everything. Who stops, who doesn't, who makes it home. So next time your phone lights up, ask yourself, Is this distraction worth a ticket or even a life? Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NetSide.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Joe Franklin and Wes Moore on 103.7 The Buzz.
All right, it's time for your Razor Hog update. Busy weekend in Razorback sports. Start with the gymnastics team. Give them a little love. Ranked number 9 in the country. They're going to be competing in the national championships. They got it done over the weekend in Lexington. Finished in the top 2. So that means they'll be in the running for a national championship. They won't be favored, but, hey, they made it. A little bit of an upset, finishing in the top 2. Oklahoma, number 1, won that regional. Arkansas, second. Women's golf, Maria Jose Marin makes history by winning the Augusta National Women's Amateur. She did it in style. Easy win. Well, down the stretch it was easy. Here she is.
I mean, I think it hasn't soaked it in yet. Just the fact that I just won at Augusta National, it's an amazing feeling. I mean, I pictured it a lot of times, but just getting it done and finally say that I'm an ANGWA champion, it's just, I don't have no words to describe that feeling.
She shot 14 under, 3 rounds of 65, 69, 68, the only person in the field to shoot 3 rounds in the 60s, 4 shots better than the second-place finisher, and she is the first Razorback and SEC golfer ever, and also the first South American to win the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Here's what she'll remember.
I'll remember a lot the pressure that you can call it's going through aiming corner. Just 10, 11, and 12, they're just critical holes, and you've seen tournaments being won and being lost in those 3 holes. So yeah, just control of my emotions during there, and then getting out of my strategy on hole 13, just deciding to go for the green when I told everyone that I was not going for the green. Just those little moments of being in total control of my game, and yeah, just getting it done and enjoying the walk-up 18.
Arkansas softball team's getting it done against Auburn. Guys couldn't. Women are 10-0, 4-0. Auburn hasn't scored a run yet. And Arkansas, I think they're number 7 in this week's softball poll. Actually fell a spot, even though they've been winning. They'll go for the sweep tonight against Auburn. That's on the SEC Network tonight at, let me look here, give you the exact time. SEC Network tonight at 6. See if they can't get the sweep and improve in the SEC to they're ranked number 6 in one poll, number 9 in another poll. 7-4 in the SEC, trying to get to 8-4 in the SEC. Now to the men. Diamond Hogs couldn't get it done in Auburn. Lost game 1, came back, bounced back. Dietz was great in game 2, and McIlvain and Ryder Helfrich with 2 home runs. Game 3 just didn't go their way. Dave Van Horn says they let that slip away.
I thought it would be a lot more competitive game than it was. That's the disappointing thing for me is that I feel like that, we jumped out and scored 3 runs. We needed to score at least 3. We had the bases loaded, no outs. And then, thank goodness we got a big 2-out hit by a freshman. But then we go give it back to them. And, it wasn't like they killed the ball in the second inning. They had an infield single, then a flare to right that drops in front of our outfielder. But that's what starts, big innings. And, probably a walk in there, a hit, hit by pitch. And next thing you know, it's tied up. And, that was disappointing.
Bottom of the second, bottom of the third, 2 kind of similar innings. They weren't bashing the ball. They just found a way to get some hits. We'll hear from Matt Jones, WholeHogSports.com and the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. He was at the Swatters Club, and we'll get the very latest on their pitching plans for this weekend. No doubt there's going to be some changes. Colin Fisher got the start in Game 3. Here's Dave Van Horn on Colin Fisher.
Well, I thought the first inning he looked really good. You thought, wow, okay, he's got his stuff. And and then it just kind of disappeared. Then he'd show it to you for a hitter, it looked real good. Then it's 2 balls, 2-1, 3-1. It was just really up and down. Kind of really, we didn't know what to do, what to expect, because he would show us some good stuff and then would go away, and then show it again. And we're trying to get into the game a little bit because it's 3-3. You're thinking, okay, we're going to score, and then obviously the bats went away.
Let's bring in Matt Jones, WholeHogSports.com, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. He joins us now on the D3 Auto Sales Hotline. Hey, Matt, welcome into the show. How are you?
I'm doing well, guys.
All right, give us the very latest from the Swatters Club. Let's start with the pitching rotation. Any clue what the rotation looks like this weekend?
No, they haven't said what the new rotation will look like. I mean, I think we all know that it's going to be a new rotation. I did ask Dave Van Horn afterward, if they've made any, final determinations on that. And he said that'll be something that they'll really dive into after the game tomorrow night against Little Rock at Baum Walker Stadium. But I think reading between the lines, it seems pretty obvious to me that Hunter Dietz is going to have a good shot to be their number one starter. I think that it seems that Cole Gibbler might have a shot to be in the weekend rotation. And then, you see what happens from there. I mean, does Dave Gackle go to the bullpen? I think that it's hard to envision that Colin Fisher would start another game just with how well the SEC teams have been hitting him around. But, I think all their attention is on trying to get the lineup fixed and figure out how they're going to pitch against Little Rock tomorrow night. And then, we'll probably have a better feel for how that rotation is going to look like Wednesday or Thursday.
Who are some other candidates, Matt?
Well, I mean, as far as weekend starters, if you ask me, I mean, it's Dietz and it's Gibbler and then it's everybody else. And, I think that you might even see them do something similar to what they did at Auburn, where, maybe you name a game one starter and you go TBA to see who you have left after that. I thought it was interesting that Van Horn said at Swatters Club today that, they were thinking about starting Cole Gibbler during the Auburn series had he not pitched on in game one on Thursday night. That maybe he would have gotten a start if that hadn't been the case. So, it's there's a lot of arms, but as far as pitchers who you think can go out there and give you starter-like innings, 5 innings or more, maybe your Friday night guy try to get you into the 6th or 7th inning. The thought is that Gackle could be one of those. It's just he hasn't really done that a whole lot. So to me, it's Dietz and Gibbler and then everybody else. But that's just kind of my opinion. That's not necessarily based on, how I think it's going to play out necessarily.
How did they get the hitting going?
Well, they got to get more guys going. I mean, I think you got 3 guys who are hitting fairly decent right now. Carter Rutenbar is hitting really well, especially for a freshman. And, it's not just average. I mean, it feels like once a game will give you a really long competitive at bat where it'll go 10 pitches, or I think he had an 11-pitch bat at Missouri State, had maybe a 10-pitch bat the other night against Auburn. It seems like he has one of those just about every game. And that's hard on the opposing pitching. Helfrich, I think that, he looks fine, and he's looked fine most of the year. But certainly he had a good weekend down at Auburn. I think Nolan Souza's hitting the ball well. I mean, he's got a .333 average in SEC play, and that's the best on the team in conference-only games. So he started out well against Mississippi State, but he's continued to hit well. And even in that game that they won down at Auburn the other day, he got a one-out single ahead of Helfrich that set the table and allowed Helfrich to hit a home run that basically won him the game. But who else is going to hit after them? I mean, they bring in Zach Stewart from Missouri State, and he's only hitting 140 in conference play. Khalil Roy was an All-American last year as a DH. He's only hitting 147 in conference play. I don't think Reese Robinette's sitting real well in conference play. These are some older at-bats that they have, and so, I think that that's the key is, which of these guys who are older, Cam Kozel not hitting real well in conference play, under 200. So who are these guys that they have who are going to step up and, complement Helfrich and Rutenbar and Souza because you don't have to have everybody going, but you got to have more than 3 guys going. You know, you got to have a lineup that's got about 5 guys or 6 guys that are hitting, fairly consistently game in and game out. And they're only about halfway to that point right now.
Are there any other guys like on the bench or somebody that could come in and give them a boost?
I really don't think so. I mean, like depth was always a little bit of I don't know if concern is the right word, but, just the rosters are smaller this year. And so I think that, it was always going to be a little bit more of a question mark. And then Brenton Clark went down in the fall. And I think, I tried to make sure people knew how significant I thought that injury was. I thought he was going to be their starting left fielder, and I thought he was going to be their leadoff man. And I think that, the fact they don't have him, and then Damian Ruiz goes down, it's really made them thin in the outfield. And it wasn't an area where they really had a whole lot of bodies to begin with. Carson Brumball's on the bench, but we've seen him, hit this year, and it just hasn't gone well for him, which has been really perplexing to me because I thought in the fall he was maybe the team's second or third best hitter behind Ryder Helfrich. And, so I don't know how much, I don't know how much you rely on him when the hitting just has not gone well for him. In the games that he's played this year, Landon Schaefer's another one that we haven't seen a whole lot of. Alexander Peck, you saw him, I think, in a couple of bats late in the first Auburn game. I think he struck out both times. So, no, I mean, I kind of think that the thing for this team is, they need to pitch better, and, they need to kind of keep it between the lines until they get Damian Ruiz back, and then that adds body for them in about 3 or 4 weeks. But it's tough for them right now because, I mean, they're really in the thick of it because lost to Florida, lost to Auburn, and now the next 2 weeks are Alabama, who's playing about as well as anybody in the SEC, and then Georgia in a couple of weeks here in Fayetteville, or I guess it's next weekend here in Fayetteville. And, Georgia, they very well may be the best team in the SEC. They went down to Mississippi State and swept them this weekend. They got a lot of players back from a team that was really good last year. They've added some guys out of the transfer portal. They're old, and they're experienced, and they're really good.
You think we see Brumball again?
Yeah, I think you might see him pitch more. I don't know if you'll see him pitch tomorrow night. I think that, the situation that they're in the game might dictate whether or not he gets in to pitch tomorrow in that game. But when they brought him here, he was a two-way guy. And I don't think the fact that he hadn't pitched until Auburn is necessarily an indictment on how they feel about him as a pitcher. It's that they wanted him to be their everyday shortstop beginning the season. And so a couple of things, they don't want him, or they didn't want the pitching necessarily to take away from focusing on hitting. And then also, as a shortstop, you're making during the course of a game, you're making a lot of hard throws from short. And, that takes a little bit of a toll on your arm. So I think, you couple that with the fact that he was a freshman and, just the everyday or kind of what every freshman goes through in terms of acclimating to college baseball. They didn't want to throw the pitching on him this year, but down the road, the plan has always been for him to be a two-way guy. And so, again, he's not really playing well in the field and he's not, hitting. So why not put him on the mound and see whether or not, he can give you something there. And I didn't think it was a great outing against Missouri State, but, there's some velocity there. And certainly I think he pitched well enough to give himself another chance somewhere down the road.
Do you think Brumbaugh is at shortstop anymore this year, barring injury?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know exactly what the position is for him moving forward. I didn't think he was a bad defensive shortstop until now. I still don't think he's a bad defensive shortstop, but he had a perfect fielding percentage for the first 3.5 weeks of the season, and then it just seemed like maybe he was taking the frustrations that he had as a hitter out to the field with him, and was making a lot of errors, and throwing errors, maybe booted a ball or two, and he had like 5 errors in the span of a week. Mm-hmm. And certainly you can't be having that from your shortstop. And so I think that's why they took him out when they did, in addition to the fact that he just wasn't hitting. But, I could see him maybe being a shortstop down the road, maybe being a third baseman. He played a lot of third base in the fall too. We'll see.
Matt Jones with us, WholeHogSports.com, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. He's on the D3 Auto Sales Hotline. Give us an update. I know I saw something, maybe you tweeted, somebody tweeted it about Carson Wiggins. What's the latest with him?
Well, I still think that if you see him pitch in a game this season, it's going to be late in the year, like, in maybe the last week of the regular season, maybe SEC tournament, somewhere in that time frame. And that's just based on the timeline that a pitcher has for his Tommy John recovery. From all indications, what he's doing in the bullpen, as part of the throwing progression that he has coming back from Tommy John, I think that's important to mention, is that these are very monitored outings that he's having. I think you stay on a pretty strict pitch count. You tell him, try to keep it at a certain percentage that you're throwing. Don't throw it 100% yet. And so, from all indications, all of those Tommy John bullpens that he has are going well. But there's a lot of people who are going to have a say in when he pitches and, if he pitches in a game this season. I mean, certainly he's going to have a say, and I think he wants to. That seems pretty evident from everywhere you hear. But, the coaches are going to have a say. I mean, I would think that his family, his advisors, his doctors, trainer, I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to have a say in when he's ready to pitch competitively again. And maybe it just kind of depends on let's say he's ready to pitch by the SEC tournament. What's it look like for Arkansas that week? Like what's their postseason look like? How many pitches can he throw? I think there's just a lot of variables that go into when and how that's going to work out.
Matt, I got a basketball question for you. What did you think of DJ Wagner entering the portal today, or announcing that he was going to do it?
Yeah, I don't think it's surprising. I mean, his role when he came to Arkansas, it seems like it's kind of changed a lot, right? I mean, you had Boogie Fland, who was battling him for minutes at the point guard position that first year, and certainly what Acuff did this year. So it seems like his role at Arkansas, what they wanted him to be, was an off guard. And he's kind of like a point guard playing out of position in an off guard role. And I don't feel like that's ever gone just great for him. He's had some flashes, and when Boogie got hurt his freshman year, I thought that, DJ really stepped up and helped him get, to the tournament and, win some big games down the stretch. But that doesn't surprise me at all. I think that was kind of, I don't know if I should say expected, because I think there is that close relationship that he has with Calipari, and certainly his dad played for Calipari too, that I guess you could see him maybe staying at Arkansas next season. But it seems like it's probably going to be for his best to go and get in another system where he'll probably get a lot more playing time than he would have if he was at Arkansas. And probably, when you think about who they got coming in next year, probably a lot more playing time in the point guard position.
Matt, before I let you go, I have a question on the Middleton Heat and Air text line. What about Parker Coyle as a second-day starter?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I would be surprised by that, Wes, because he can recycle so fast that I think he can give you 2 outings in a weekend in an ideal situation. And so if you're, and the other thing I'll say is that if you're taking Gibbler out of the bullpen, that's one less left-handed bullpen reliever that you have. And so, I mean, again, I guess if Parker Coyle were going to starting rotation, maybe Gibbler stays in there. But I feel like Parker's he's going to be easier to turn around and say, like, pitch on Friday and Sunday. And he's such a good strike thrower. I think that he's able to get them out of some jams. I think he got them out of the bases loaded jam here recently in a game. I can't remember which one. But he seems to have a little bit of a knack for that. But it would surprise me if they took him out of a relief role and put him into a starter role. I think your starters. It seems to me like Gibbler may have a better chance to be a starter than Coyle would.
Matt, thank you. We appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Matt Jones, Sports.com, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. We'll take a break. When we come back, We got Coach Fimple joining us. Daryl Fimple, new women's basketball coach at Arkansas Tech. That news came out last week. Such a crazy week, never could get him on. Thought about him over the weekend and said, hey, we got to get you on here Monday. And he said, I'd love to. So we'll get Coach Fimp on next. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Are you still on the sidelines? Then it's time you suit up and get in the game. Download Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app, Bet Saracen, today.
This is SportsCenter.
The number 9 Arkansas gymnastics team advanced to the NCAA championships on Sunday by finishing second at the Lexington Regional Final. Allison Cucci and Morgan Price led the way for the Razorbacks in the first 2 rotations, with both gymnasts earning a 9.9 on both the beam and uneven bars. Price scored a third 9.9 in the floor exercise. Lauren Williams had the highest score in the vault with a 9.95. The NCAA championship is April 16th in Fort Worth. Moving to golf, Maria Jose Marin shot a 4 under 68 on Saturday to win the Augusta National Women's Amateur by 4 shots over Andrea Puvuelta of Stanford. Marin had the lowest final score in the tournament's history to become the first Arkansas golfer and first golfer from Columbia to win the event. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
This is Trey Schapp. Tune in each Friday morning at 5:30 right here on The Buzz as I bring you From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. If you like to hear interesting stories about the game of golf, this is for you. You can also find it wherever you get your podcasts.
To celebrate their partnership with the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, your Arkansas Chevy dealers are giving away a 2027 Chevy Silverado 1500. For complete rules and to register to win, current Arkansas Game and Fish license holders should visit ChevySweepstakes.com/Arkansas Truck Hunt or see your Arkansas's best Chevy dealer for more details. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents 18 years or older who reside in Arkansas. Contest ends 12/31/26. Void where prohibited.
When the unthinkable happens to your home or business, whether it's damage from smoke, water, fire, or mold, let Rainbow Restoration make you whole again. Their extensively trained team, state-of-the-art equipment, and 24/7 rapid response will help get your life back on track fast. Because this isn't just their service area, it's their home. When you need them, find them at ArkansasRestorationExperts.com. Rainbow Restoration, where they restore, you recover. Services performed by an independently owned and operated franchise.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Shipments of spring and summer fashions are arriving at Bell & Sword. That means swimwear from Saks, Peter Noir golf wear and shirts, Johnny O's store within a store. Be sure to check out the Faraday line and Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. So hurry in for a great value on quality men's clothing at Bell & Sword for your spring and summer items, and you'll look fantastic. Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in downtown Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, it's Randy Rainwater from Drive Time Sports. Monday, Rick and I will be back in the Eat My Catfish studio. We're bringing in Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen, Fox 16 Sports Director Courtney Mims, Trey Biddy from Hog Sports, thanks to Chris Crane Hyundai, and Genesis of Conway, Patrick Bradley, thanks to Bet Saracen and Razorback Camper Sales, and Nolan Souza, thanks to Seth Boyd Insurance. See you Monday on 103.7 The Buzz.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union studios. TruService Credit Union, your headquarters for auto loans. With TruService, no payments for 60 days and rates starting as low as 3.99 APR on new, used, or refinance your current auto loan. TruService.net for pre-approval. Your auto loan experts.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. I'm Wes Moore. He's Joe Franklin. Glad you're with us. Got a big change in high school basketball. Win a championship and hit the road. Daryl Fimple joins us now, the new head coach of Arkansas Tech. Coach, congratulations. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm awesome. Awesome.
All right, tell me about this, the decision, the process. How difficult was it?
Well, it was kind of a full circle moment, to tell you the truth. You kind of knew about the job being open with Coach Wilbur's retiring and announcing that in November, and then knowing our team and how good they were going to be. It was one of those things that we were definitely interested, but kind of put off until the end of the season. And then Coach Davis came, and Abby did a great job kind of getting me interested in the job. And then next thing you know, you have a press conference and you take over one of the most historic women's basketball teams in the country.
Coach, know that there were several factors that went into the timing being right and this being the right time to make a move. Have these opportunities been there before and the timing wasn't right and then everything just came together this time?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing how that works, too. To be able to do everything you can in high school and think maybe, I think there's always a part of you being a competitor. Could you do it at the next level? What's your opportunity to do that? And then, like I said, everything just kind of fell in place where, I kept going, this will be the reason why I don't do it. And then they would say, yeah, we can do that. And you're like going, holy cow, this thing's really happening. So, I think it was one of those things. It was the next step in my career, and like I said, we've hit the ground running ever since then.
Did it make it easier that your daughter was graduating to leave?
Yeah, that's the other surreal thing. I mean, I get a chance. That was my first recruiting pitch was, flipping her and getting her on board. That was, I didn't know what that was going to cost me in the long run. That still hasn't been negotiated, but no, that's an awesome thing too, is to be able to continue to, coach your own kid on the next level and pretty much put your stamp on, like I said, one of the most prestigious, programs in the country.
How did that recruiting process go with Katie?
Because I said, hey, they're interested, and I think I'm going to take the job. She had already committed, and Coach Long and them at Washington have been phenomenal. And I said, hey, you can go there. It's a great education. Coach Long's a great dude, but we're going to beat you twice a year, and I don't know if you can handle that. And she was like, Dad, I'm on board. So so that was kind of how I got the switch there. That was the first recruiting the flip I've ever done in my life. But, yeah, it was pretty easy.
Coach, I promise you they won't all be that easy.
So what now?
I promise you they won't all be that easy.
No, I wish they were. You're right. Yeah. I'm finding that the brand is still out there, and we've got some kids that are pretty excited, and it's a chance. I think you can do a lot of great things with Arkansas kids, and that's what we're going to kind of build this thing on, and our community is really, our alumni, our Golden Sun alumni is phenomenal, and our Tech alumni on top of that is phenomenal. So I think we got a lot of support that we need, and I'm just still an old high school basketball coach. I'm just going to try to make it relationship based and make sure that we take care of kids and make these young ladies really, really, really awesome in their communities. And, I did that in high school, and I think that carries over in the college level.
Yeah, Coach, I know how familiar you are with high school basketball and summer basketball. How important will be Arkansas kids to Arkansas Tech?
Oh man, summer basketball is huge now, and having done that too in the past, I've got some relationships there too. It's going to help us with our kids in state. It's a recruiting thing. It's year round. I mean, it doesn't ever stop. And the portal opened this morning, and you're up late at night drinking coffee, thinking, "Golly, can I get this kid and that kid?" So, it's been really, really exciting, kind of a learning experience. But heck, man, I don't know any other way to do it than hard. So either I'm going to burn out in about a week or two, or I'm going to continue this momentum as much as I possibly can.
Daryl Fimple with us, new head coach at Arkansas Tech. He's on the D3 Auto Sales hotline. Coach, how long was it after you win a championship, a state championship, and then this all pops up? How much time did you have to celebrate?
I had about 2 days. 2 days to really go, hey, yeah, this is great. And to tell you the truth, I really thought, I thought they'd already moved on or whatever. I didn't really know how the process was going to go. And then I get a call Monday, and they say, hey, we need to talk to you. And I was like, okay, well, here we go. So, yeah, it was pretty short-lived. But, I think that things have to happen now as quickly as, like I said, the recruiting game is now.
Are you already up there? Have you started?
As soon as they said, hey, yeah, you're in, I've got a makeshift office, and, at Tucker Coliseum, there's a big walking community. I've been walking with them recruiting, so it's pretty awesome. I had a older lady the other day yelling "Sun's up," so I was pretty excited that it's kind of spreading around here.
Yeah, I saw that on social media. That's awesome. How long did that take you to come up with that?
Well, actually, the mind is simple. It works pretty fast. So I came up with that in 2 or 3 days. I didn't know it was going to catch on like that, but man, it's awesome. I got everybody pretty much fired up about that. I think AI even picked up on it, which is crazy too. So, yeah, that's kind of how we end and start every conversation around here right now.
So, what are you looking forward to the most about being a college coach?
Well, I think, the impact that high school coaches make is amazing. And to be able to carry that on, like I told them in our spiel, and it's not just a spiel. I'm going to recruit the high school kids that come from great programs and know how to win and are coached by great coaches. And our state has some of the greatest coaches in all the country, in women's basketball especially. I mean, you've got so many Hall of Famers that are coaching kids, and winning nowadays is the hardest thing to teach a kid, and I think those guys already teach it. And being on the college level, you get to take those kids and win more with them.
We got Daryl Fimple with us on the D3 Auto Sales hotline. Coach, how good of a recruiter is Katie? How is she helping you?
Well, that also helps because she can kind of tell them what's about to happen. There's a lot of other kids that are here. We've been meeting with them individually and the whole 9 yards. But, yeah, we're really excited about all those and getting those, coaches' kids in here and winning kids. And, it's been really, really exciting.
Do you think your style translates even better to the college game?
Well, I do. Yeah, I do. A lot of our style, I think, carries over. I think it's something kind of different in the GAC. The way that we're going to play, we're going to get up and down. We're going to push the ball in front of you. We're going to guard your face off. And, it's pretty typical of what wins. And now you get to pick and choose which kids you add to that mix. And like I said, I'll always be a high school coach, but I sure in the heck going to swing for it. That's going to be our motto too. Is I'm not afraid to go after it as hard as we possibly can, and I think that's going to play off into our kids.
Did you have South Carolina beating UConn, then UCLA beating Texas, and then UCLA beating South Carolina like that?
No, I was 0 for. I was 0 for the big UConn guy. That didn't work out real well. And then Gino lost his mind, and then I love Coach Staley. And Coach Staley's the classiest person in the world. And then you look at Texas, Vic, he just guards you and guards you and guards you. And that didn't go well. And then Corey Close, I mean, she's I mean, she's the greatest story in women's basketball right now. I mean, she's just a grinder. It took her 15 years to get that program where it was, and you could see last night they were by far the best team in the country.
It was incredible. I probably shouldn't ask you unless I want to fade you. Who do you have tonight?
What? Who do I have tonight?
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I like Danny Hurley, but the size of Michigan and just being grown men, and it's so hard to score around the rim. I mean, you thought Arizona would really give them trouble, but, Arizona ran into somebody that was kind of bigger than they were. So, yeah, I would take Michigan in that one. But, man, I would not put anything unless Hurley might tackle an official. That might hurt somebody. But he's got those guys playing like him. They ain't scared of anybody. So, it's hard to bet against them. They keep going to the finals, too. There's something about being there, and he's got kids that have been there, too. So I wouldn't be shocked if UConn pulled off a surprise. But, man, Michigan's gigantic.
UConn not only goes to the finals, but they win. And that's the crazy thing.
Yes, they do. And then he tells everybody about it. That's that's funny. Yeah.
Coach, we appreciate it. Hey, congratulations once again, and can't wait to see what you do up in Russellville at Arkansas Tech. Thank you.
Hey, thank you guys, and hey, thanks for always supporting Team Fimple there. I appreciate you guys, and guess what? Sun's up.
Daryl Fimple with us on the Middleton or the D3 Auto Sales hotline. Sun's up. Somebody tweeted him. It's like, Coach, when the sun's up, it's the morning. Don't be tweeting that at night. Sun's up. Someone, good guy though, like Coach. We got to take a break. When we come back, open segment. We'll take your phone call, 661-1037. I'll also check the Middleton Heat and Air text line. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
For Pulaski County residents and businesses, do recycling right by recycling old electronic equipment. How? Come to North Little Rock Simmons Bank Arena parking lot on Tuesday, April 7th or Wednesday, April 8th for an electronic recycling event. Learn more at recyclingunplugged.com. If it's electronic and no longer usable, drop it off and we'll recycle it for free. For information, go to recyclingunplugged.com.
Oaklawn is here for when you want non-stop racing and non-stop action. The season's back, the weekends are packed, and it's time to plan your visit. The classic racing season kicks off January 30th and runs through May 2nd with exciting weekends, great food and drinks, and the kind of atmosphere you can only find in Hot Springs. It's fast, it's lively, it's time to win. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Attention! If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-382-9100. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-382-9100. That's 501-382-9100.
What drives you? Family moments, new adventures, or just the love of the open road? Whatever it is, Gwatney Chevrolet is here to help you get there. For generations, we've been more than a dealership. We've been part of life's milestones, big and small. With a team that puts you first and a car buying experience that's easy and stress-free, we're here to find the perfect vehicle for what drives you. Visit us in Jacksonville or online at GuatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-921-8189. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-921-8189. 800-921-8189. 800-921-8189.
When you think CertaPro Painters, you probably think interior and exterior painting for homes and commercial properties, which we do beautifully. But did you know that we're more than just paint? CertaPro also provides expert carpentry, sheetrock repairs, deck and fence staining, and durable garage and patio concrete coatings. Whether you're refreshing your home, upgrading a commercial space, or restoring outdoor areas, we deliver professional results with the quality and service you expect. Call CertaPro Painters today or schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, that's certainty.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios. Online at TruService.net.
Tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed that I set my sights on Monday and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure can be a friend of mine.
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. Wes Moore, Joe Franklin. Open segment here if you want to join us. 661-1037. Phone lines are open. Middleton Heat and Air text line is full. So let me go there. Also, let me announce it's Masters Week, and our Out of Bounds Masters contest will begin tomorrow. We have a sponsor, and it is the Simmons Bank Championship brought to you by Stevens Inc. They are going to give us 2 weekend passes, grounds passes for the tournament, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get you in all 3 days. To the winner. You guys know it. Well, if you don't know it, it's pretty simple. I'll go home, have a little homework tonight during the NCAA championship game. I'll get the Masters field. I'll cut up all the players, most of the players, put them in a little plastic bag. You call in, and I'll draw a golfer for you. If that golfer wins the Masters, you win the prize. That's it. That's simple. Winner take all. So we'll be taking some calls Tuesday and Wednesday, hand out all these golfers. I'll get some on the Middleton Heat and Air text line too. Take care of y'all. That will begin tomorrow. Big thanks to Michael Cataldo, Executive Director of the Simmons Bank Championship, presented by Stevens Inc., for offering that prize package to our winner. He did it last year for I think it was the Open Championship, the last one we did. Pretty sure. And I met the guys who won it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good deal.
He took 3 of his buddies out there and had a blast. So glad we can do that again. All right, Middleton Heat and Air text line. 501 wants to know, are we throwing the bag at Billy and Malik since DJ is gone? It would have to probably be a huge bag, I'm afraid, for Malik Thomas to come back. But well, look, we're just going to have to see what happens when they I fully expect both of them, maybe even Malik Ewan, to enter their name into the NBA draft, go to the draft combine, the NBA combine, get in some of those games, work out in front of all the scouts, get some feedback from the NBA execs. And then they can make a logical decision, a decision with the best facts that they can. Because hopefully, they're going to get they're going to be hearing it from all sides. They're going to hear it from their friends, their agent, their family. You need to go or you need to stay. Coaches will tell them one thing or another. But you need to hear from an unbiased party. And that would be, to me, the NBA scouts, executives, the NBA feedback that you get.
And they've gotten some already from scouts showing up at games, but this is when it gets more detailed, more intense, and you really get to show what you can do in front of scouts, execs, everybody that's going to be there at this NBA draft combine. And then you get measured. So that's the first part of it. You get measured. You go through your medicals. You're able to speak to teams specifically, and it's just a great process for players to go through.
620 says Parker Coyle. Oh, I read that one to Matt Jones. Matt does not think Parker Coyle would be an option because he's so useful out of the bullpen, being able to throw multiple days, multiple times in a weekend. 501 writes in, Wes, Joe surprises a lot of us Hog fans at the talented baseball team. What's happening this season? Maybe they will turn it around soon. Yeah, it is a surprise. But the facts are the guys that we thought would be able to hit aren't hitting. And some of the guys in the bullpen are now struggling. And the starters. I remember at the beginning of the year, it looked like they had several options, 4 or 5 options to be a starter. And they went with those 3. And, man, the very first 2 weekends of the year when you had your number 3 starter, doesn't that seem like a long time ago? SEC Pitcher of the Week. But the last, now I guess 4 weekends have been a struggle. And the bullpen all of a sudden is not putting up a bunch of zeros. They're giving up runs. It's been an avalanche, really. It is. It's just the bullpen's not doing well, starting pitching's not giving you innings, and they're not hitting. That's why they've lost 5 out of 6 in SEC play. And it is a surprise. JW says, as close as we were in the games with bad coaching we had over the years, being one-score games, are you telling me that we're not good enough to win more games with the upgrade of coaching? If that's the case, until football time, you should preach gloom and doom. I'm preaching kick back, sit back, enjoy, and let's see what we have.
It's a different team in place, too. It'd be different if we're talking about that same team in place with a new coaching staff, and now you would have a baseline to go on to say, all right, well, maybe this is a coaching staff and a coach specifically, head coach, that can get this team over the top that has struggled in some of these close games. It's a different team. So we don't know if they have that same makeup of these close games.
They had a nice roster last year. I mean, all it took was watching the NFL Combine, and now you're seeing some of these mock drafts, and you got Razorbacks going as early as the 3rd round, and Taylon Green taking all these visits, Mike Washington blowing up. You know, they had some players, and they're going to have, 5 guys drafted this year, maybe 6 guys drafted this year. So they had some pieces. But you're right. I mean, it was just turnovers and all these one-score losses. Turn it around, but do they have the talent? What was the portal like? What are these guys like? 615, breaking news. Did y'all hear Gabe Gackle caught a charge? The judge has sentenced him directly to the bullpen penitentiary. That's okay. That's not bad. Fimp Dog rules. Cannot wait to see what he says or what he does at Tech. Sun's up. Thank you, 501. Yeah, Fimp Dog is awesome. Ron in Pine Bluff. If I may, people say half full. It's still half empty. That's his OCD in physics. I go half full. That's me, though. I'm optimistic. There's still half of it left. It's not half gone. There's still half of it there. What's the latest on the Hill in basketball? Latest is DJ Wagner's gone, or says, according to On3 Sports, he's going to enter the portal. That's the very latest. Portal opens tomorrow. I saw the, of course, the women's portal opened today, Joe, and there's over 1,200 players already in the portal. And I think Arkansas has already lost 5, maybe 6 women to the portal.
Yeah, these numbers have been up over the years, and maybe with some of the changes they're trying to introduce into college sports, there are a lot of players thinking this is our time, to act now in case something changes here in the next couple of years.
Yeah. I hope something changes with all the news from late last week with the executive order and some of the congressmen, senators that were following that up by saying, yeah, I've got a bill proposed. And I hope it leads to some changes with the NCAA. Coach Calipari, of course, was on his media tour over the weekend at the Final Four talking about some of the things he would like to see, and he's in favor of a one-time transfer allowed, and then after that, you have to sit out a year. He did say if your coach leaves, and that's fine, you should be able to leave too. But I think that would solve some of the issues with the portal. You wouldn't just see players jumping in year after year after year. If you look at the SEC standings, how many games out of third are we? You're talking about baseball. Well, let's look at it. SEC. I'll be honest with you. I haven't looked at the standings since this weekend. I don't even know where Arkansas is with their 5-7 SEC record. All right, Georgia's 10-2 in first, Texas 9-3, then Alabama, who Arkansas plays this weekend, is 8-4. Arkansas is 5-7, so they're 3 games out of third place. Yeah, go to Alabama, sweep them. Now there's a lot of teams in between you. But that's all it takes. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, Arkansas was sitting up there near the top. But then that sweep to Florida sent them crashing down. And then losing 2 out of 3, the tumble continues. But Arkansas 5-7, and they've lost 5 out of the last 6. So they've gone from 4-2 to 5-7 in 2 weekends. Got to turn it around. Yeah, you turn it around just like that. And go 3-0, 2-1, and go 5-1, all of a sudden you're looking at 10-8, and things look a lot better. Problem is, I just don't see a sweep and a series win in the next 2 weekends against Alabama on the road and Georgia at home. You're about to play the first-place team and the third-place team in the SEC. Got to find a way to split. I mean, ideally, go 4-2, win both series. That would be ideal. Right now, with the way they're playing, I'll take 3-3. Tread water and then finish strong against some of the weaker competition. But right now, 5-7, they're a game behind Kentucky, Auburn, LSU, and Vanderbilt. 2 games behind Florida, Mississippi State, and A&M. Yeah, a couple of weekends in a row playing good baseball. You're right back in the thick of things. You're not going to win the SEC. But you move way up in the standings. All right, we will hit more on the Middleton Eaton Air text line in hour number 3. We've got what's trending, and then we've got a open segment. So time for more calls and comments later on. Stick around. Hour number 3 is coming up next.
If you are looking for a safe and loving home for you or your loved one, visit Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center. Just 15 minutes from Little Rock and Benton, our skilled nursing staff is dedicated to providing quality long-term care and short-term therapy. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com. You can call Heartland home.
Hey folks, this is Mitch Ward, proudly serving the great state of Arkansas with Red River Auto Group for over 20 years. We started as Arkansas's #1 Ram Dodge Chrysler Jeep dealer, but we've also got Ford and Toyota. And I like to think we've got the largest discounts than anybody in the state. But folks, really, if you bring us any reasonable deal right now, we're going to try to put something together. If that means us giving a little too much for your trade or selling ours for just a little too cheap or fighting for the best rate, we're going to make it happen. Check us out at redriverauto.com.
Arkansas, stop paying full retail prices. Head to Natural State Wholesale, the warehouse, where prices and customer service can't be beat, where inventory is stocked and ready to be loaded. Find us at 2011 North 2nd Street in Cabot. Waterproof vinyl starting at just $129 a square foot. Tile deals all day, every day for under $1 a square foot. Waterproof hardwood around $2 a square foot. Need more? Exterior pavers and stone, butcher block countertops, roofing shingles, faucets, you name it, we've got it. Natural State Wholesale, the warehouse, built to save you money.
Bluff Police's Violent Crime Apprehension Team has arrested 4 gang members. Officials say their arrests stem from a shooting that happened just after midnight on March 29th near Blake Street. Officers tried to catch the suspects who sped away in a Dodge Charger. And the search warrant was conducted last Wednesday at a home on Talbot Street in connection to that shooting. Police say 4 members of the Hop Out gang were taken into custody. 3 custom guns were also seized. Each suspect is now facing gang and gun-related charges. And parts of Conway Regional Medical Center were forced to evacuate because of a fire that was called in just after 6 on Sunday morning. They say the fire involved a cooling tower in the lower level roof near the emergency department. No word on the exact cause or the extent of damage. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, and the emergency department has been cleared to resume normal operations. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KRK's Jessica Rockwell.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
A beautiful sunny Monday is in store for us today. After a chilly morning, we'll get up to 71. Pretty comfortable this afternoon. Tonight, a clear sky. We'll get chilly again, drop down to 47. For Tuesday, a partly cloudy day and a high of 72. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Are you hungry? Something new, $25, all you can eat, sushi rolls, soup, salad, Benihana rice. Come at Benihana's Monday through Thursday.
Get in the conversation with Life and Feedback at 1037thebuzz.com. Presented on Out of Bounds by Chevy Retail Group. Chevy Colorado eats up the road with 5 available gears, and Silverado has the muscle to tow. Life and Feedback from Chevy Retail Group, Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
For Pulaski County residents and businesses, do recycling right by recycling old electronic equipment. How? Come to North Little Rock Simmons Bank Arena parking lot on Tuesday, April 7th or Wednesday, April 8th for an electronic recycling event. Learn more at recyclingunplugged.com. If it's electronic and no longer usable, drop it off and we'll recycle it for free. For information, go to recyclingunplugged.com.
FanDuel, in partnership with Oaklawn Sports, is now available in Arkansas. With FanDuel, you can get in on college hoops action any night of the week. Because Oaklawn Sports, powered by FanDuel, has all your favorite college basketball bets, from points to rebounds to which team you think is going to win. Plus, you can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. And for a limited time, new Arkansas customers get started with $300 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. So just visit FanDuel.com/Arkansas to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/Arkansas to get started with $300 in bonus bets when you place your first $5 bet. Play your game with FanDuel, now available in Arkansas. 21 plus and present in Arkansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued at non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Golf is a game of precision and power. Every detail matters. The same must be true for luxury. Genesis delivers with every stroke of craftsmanship, every stitch of quality, and every surge of performance. During the Genesis Signature event, get 0.99% financing on a new GB80 or GB70. Experience the Genesis GB80 or GB80 Coupe for yourself at Genesis of Conway. The future of luxury today.
Ray Tucker with good news for enthusiasts of Triumph motorcycles. Honda of North Little Rock now carries the legendary classics and cutting-edge rides. We have the Bonneville Bobber, Daytona 600, the TF450X, the Stunning Ever Special Edition, and the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. You get the idea. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Experience the unmistakable difference today at D3 Auto Sales in Des Arc. D3 Auto Sales is your home for quality used trucks, SUVs, and cars from all the top brands, specializing in unique custom lifted and leveled used trucks, including four-wheel drives. And this commitment to excellence extends to their full-service 10-bay service department as well. Also looking to trade in or sell your vehicle? D3 Auto always pays top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. D3Autosales.com.
Lost in the legal jungle? There's no one better to protect your pride than our pride of Legal Lions. For exceptional communication and exceptional results, hire Lion Legal to come roaring to the rescue.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old.
She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Smalls here. What if you could enjoy the flavor of a cocktail without the alcohol? Meet RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category that delivers bold taste and a warming sensation, but with zero alcohol, zero sugar, zero carbs, and zero calories. So you can celebrate with friends, unwind after a long day, and wake up tomorrow feeling great. It's all the ritual of a drink without the regret. Discover RK at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, the spirit without the alcohol.
Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios, this is Out of Bounds with Wes Moore and Joe Franklin on 103.7 The Buzz. What's Trending in Sports is brought to you by Arkansas's own West Rock Coffee. Join West Rock Coffee, the Razorbacks, and their 1.5 million farmers around the globe. It's fall, so now it's time for your team to stock up on coffee, tea, and water delivered directly to your business. Contact them at westrockcoffee.com or 833-886-JAVA today.
We've had a lot happen over the last couple of days. Really, it was a 3-day weekend for us, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We got the national championship game tonight for the men. Last night was the women's national championship. Let's go back to the semifinals and how we got here. We began with UConn in Illinois.
Caravan doesn't take the three. Instead, a shovel inside and a big finish for Terrace Reed Jr. For Caravan, rips it away.
How about Gap D there? Nice give here.
Ahead, Mullins, the ball fake. And a look from our AT&T Connected Cam.
How about that, Mullins?
And Mullins with the board. Get it ahead. Demery, the transfer from Georgia, over the ball. He's got it. A three.
What a find on that cross-court pass.
Well, UConn played well. They shot the ball well from outside. Illinois struggled. UConn, the underdog in that game, pulls off the victory. Terrace Reed, man, that Reed kid is playing well. It's crazy to think, how much he's developed this year. And Michigan's big guy, I didn't know Michigan's big guy played at UCLA last year. And he played in, I think it was 20 minutes in the NCAA tournament over 3 games. Transfers, and now the success he's having at Michigan. Talk about turnarounds. Here's Reed on playing Michigan in the title game tonight.
Yeah, so I started my career in Michigan, and now I'm about to play in my final game of college basketball. So I never would have thought that would have happened in a million years. How cool, a blessing is that? So I know a couple guys on the team, but at the end of the day, it's the game for the national championship game. So I feel like they're gonna be coming to my neck. We're gonna be coming to their neck. So it's gonna be a great, fun bloodbath and just a competitive game.
Think he'll be motivated tonight?
He'll be ready to go for sure.
Now, he'll have to guard the big guy from Michigan, right? That's got to be the matchup.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, they may be able to switch out on some possessions.
Now, Dan Hurley, back to the victory over Illinois.
Yeah, just obviously thrilled. There's no better feeling than being on that bus on Monday night, just being one of the last 2 teams standing. That bus ride to the stadium is just it's just a cool experience. So I look forward to obviously the ability to max out the season to get to the last game, and then just Illinois. Couldn't have more respect for them and their coach and their awesome players. And we're very selective with who we try to play in non-conference situations, whether they're home and homes or the series that we're now doing with Illinois. we only try to do series with the best programs in the country. So they'll obviously have another crack at us in Chicago next year. But I just couldn't be more proud of my guys and, how hard they fought when most people, probably didn't think we were going to win the game, or at least a little bit of what I saw on TV today, TNT and some of the different prognostications. So it was great to win the game, and I had to throw some shade.
Yeah, of course he did. More from Dan Hurley.
Start to the game, and then the finish to the game. I don't know what, are they booing? The headbutt? I don't know what they're booing. But he's amazing, and, he got us here, and then he got us off to a great start, and then the 3 closed it.
For you, your 3rd national championship game in 4 years. What does it say about you, your coaching, this team, this program, and UConn as a whole?
Yeah, just, you're set up for success at UConn. Gino Auriemma, Jim Calhoun, Kevin Ollie, just some incredible coaches before me. Got the best staff in the country, got an incredible group of players, and there's nothing like the bus ride on Monday night over to the stadium when you're one of the last 2 teams standing.
He's playing it up to the crowd with those boos.
I did not notice while watching it live how loud that was, the boos.
Yeah. When you're at the top for so long and you've had a lot of success, there are people that want to see something different, and it's obvious they're tied to Dan Hurley at this point.
I did notice how many Illinois fans were there and how close, because of proximity, seemed like they had a home court advantage during the game. Maybe a lot of it was Illinois fans booing Hurley after the game after getting beaten by UConn. Now let's go to Michigan, Arizona.
Burnett, no good. Slammed down on the foul. Morris Johnson with power and the foul.
How about that read? You can offensive rebound, but how about the anticipation on the weak side? Banging it home big time.
Lindeborg comes to the ball. He's going to take it and make it for 3.
Oh my goodness, Superman. Morrow's not on the floor, didn't get back, but how about this? Just a little motion. Some courage here, Grant.
Now this has been very disconcerting for Tommy Lloyd and the Arizona Wildcats. Lindeborg again. Yes, sir! Dealing with an ankle injury, a knee injury.
Both Lindeborg and Solo Balls not on the availability report. They're good to go for tonight.
Oh, they're both going to go. You'll see them going because they're going to lay it all out for one game. And Lundeborg, he said, he went back into the game first of all, but then he already said there's nothing that's going to keep him out of this game.
Played well. Coach said he was playing like a 37-year-old man at the YMCA there in the second half.
Yeah, bum leg all the way around, ankle, knee, everything's hurting, but he put a sleeve on it. He rode the bike for a while, and he got back in.
Yeah. Fat Five were there. Our friend, our buddy Chris Babb down in Arkadelphia, he sent me a video walking out of the tunnel. There's the Fab Five signing autographs. He's like, man, this takes me back to the Fab 5 days of being here when Michigan won it all. But it was pretty cool seeing all those guys signing autographs. And then they did the alternate broadcast. Here they are.
Adam, we want to thank you.
I appreciate
you. For what you did today, leading this group, awesome. But more importantly, making this allcast a special one. Also, I want to give a shout out, to my wife, my kids, and then also the Brooklyn Nets. Without them, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you for the support.
I want to shout out my wife, Erica, shout out the twins, Mac and Elle, shout out my parents that have helped me be patient and just enjoy the process. And shout out to all of our families up here that was behind us all those years when there was no guarantees and we were just dumb young 18-year-olds trying to have some fun.
And I want to give a shout out again for my family as well, TNT. Thank you, Adam. Putting us up here with my Fab Five brothers in this wonderful setting and venue. Shout out to my kids, Madison, Jalen, and Malcolm. I love you.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to all my family, friends, and loved ones. And it's all Detroit everything. We boss up
That's what we do. And you guys are changing the game again. There are a lot of sporting events that happen each day, but none are live television altcast. This is the first time that this is taking place. So this is dope. So I appreciate you guys being here, and shout out to the Michigan fans, the alums, and all of the people that put love and support into us.
Shout out to Peyton Manning and them, because we're going to do a football game when the Lions win the Super Bowl this year. Oh, my bad.
And you heard one of them say, one of their kids, Jalen, that wasn't Jalen Rose, that was Jimmy King. So he named one of his sons after his former teammate and really good friend.
Did you listen to any of that?
Yes, yeah, and especially like when Michigan was up big, they were having a ball. They were having a lot of fun.
Was it good? Was it quality?
It was good. It was good because they were talking about some of the things when they played. They were showing a lot of highlights, and they were breaking down the game. So it was just good to hear from all of them, see them all in the same setting.
Remember I told y'all that I was going to be watching the game with my brother-in-law. And our bracket was coming down to if Michigan won, I won. If Arizona won, he was going to win. And, Michigan got off to a great start, and I was feeling pretty good. But I was like, look, Arizona's good. And basketball's a game of runs. All it takes is one Arizona run. They're right back into it, and we got a ball game. About midway through the second half, he's like, I'm done. This game's terrible. And he stood up, and the wives were back there. And they're like, oh, the game's ain't good. And I was like, man, I think it's a great game. I'm enjoying
how
this.
it goes.
Yeah, this is a great game.
Yeah. Problem with Arizona is you saw when it was getting out of hand, Arizona is not making threes. They started shooting them, which is out of their game, and Michigan's making threes. So that's the issue, that when you're trying to come back and you're not a three-point shooting team, it's going to be a problem.
Here's Dusty May after the win.
This was dubbed a heavyweight fight, but you knocked them out early on. How were you able to do that right off the bat?
I want to give a shout out to our glue guys. They really held it in the road. And in the first half, when we were battling foul trouble and some injuries, we were able to get some stops. We got out in transition, and we were able to have a little separation.
When you talk about this team, you always talk about how unselfish they are. Elliott got things started. Adaimara in the paint was tremendous. What is it about this squad that has gotten you this far, one win away from a national championship?
Obviously, you have to be ultra competitive as a group to be here, but our basketball IQ and team intelligence is why we're still playing.
And then we saw you out here during that UConn game scouting instead of watching it back in the locker room. You said you didn't really know them well. What did you learn watching them? What concerns you about this UConn team Monday night?
They have championship DNA. What they've done over the last 4 years is as impressive as anything we've seen in recent memory. And we've got our hands full Monday, but these guys will be up for the challenge.
On the women's side of things, we had South Carolina and UConn on Friday night, right? Friday night?
Yeah.
My days are all confused. And after the game, after South Carolina knocked off UConn, that's when the fireworks really started. Had a little kind of dust up with Gino and Dawn Staley during the handshake line. And here's Gino about what happened.
For 41 years, I've been coaching, and I've been, 25 Final Fours. And the protocol is before the game, you meet at half court. Anybody ever see that before? Two coaches meet at half court and they shake hands. Correct? You ever see it? They announce it on the loudspeaker. And I waited there for like 3 minutes. So it is what it is.
Dawn Staley's thoughts.
Well, Coach, something happened there at the end of the game. What went wrong on the sideline right now?
I have no idea. But I'm going to let you know this. I'm of integrity. So if I did something wrong to Gino, I had no idea what I did. I guess he thought I didn't shake his hand at the beginning of the game. I didn't know. I went down there pregame, shook everybody on his staff's hand. I don't know where he came with after the game, but hey, sometimes things get heated. We move on.
Seemed like somebody was a little upset.
Oh, yeah. He's well, there was between third and fourth quarter, they do coaches' interviews, and Gino did an interview at that time where he said that during that third quarter, there were 6 fouls called, and we see that coaches, they speak to refs during the game, officials speak to them during the game, and they express how they're feeling or how the game is being called. He said there were 6 fouls called in that quarter, none called on them. Sarah Strong had her jersey ripped, so he's like, how can it not be a foul called in that situation? So he was really upset at the time, and he even mentioned Dawn Staley during that interview because he was saying that she was really getting to the officials, and they were, I guess, more so listening to her than they were listening to him. So it was frustration, and especially the game kind of got out of hand at that point because it was a close enough game where UConn could have come back to win. It was like a 5-point game, but at some point into that third and getting into the fourth quarter, then South Carolina was able to run off and really kind of have that really impressive win, and UConn didn't have a chance. So his frustrations were really at that point, but then it all went back to you got beat the way you got beat, kind of got manhandled during the game, and then it goes back to, well, before the game, there was some frustration on his part.
UCLA beat Texas in a close game, so that set up a championship game of UCLA and South Carolina.
Hawkins, you bet!
Hawkins has done everything, including scoring, yes, but her imprint has been all over this game. You see her teammates and the joy that she brings to them after the score.
Betts kicking out. Hawkins, you bet! Rims off. Sienna Betts, the old board, kicks it out. Neefkins a 3. Is good! For the first time since 1978, UCLA is back on top of the women's basketball world. The Bruins have captured their very first NCAA national championship.
I thought the announcer did a great job at the end of the game because the game had been over for a long time, and it was trash time for a long time. I mean, they even emptied the benches, and for him to get the energy back to deliver a final call like that, I thought was very impressive because a lot of times the energy fades from a broadcast and a blowout like that. Zeros hit, and it's like, all right, then now it's over. UCLA wins.
Well, the fact that it was their first, and then we see with championship teams, they have to do all the post-game stuff, and then the celebration. A lot of times you see them return home like late night, early morning, or that next day. Well, they're in Phoenix, so UCLA was able to return home right after that, and they even showed them getting off the plane and some of the celebration there.
That's cool. Here's Corey Close.
Corey, you've got someone special wanting to see you.
Come on, Mom.
I couldn't interrupt this hug. It's been a long time for you. You've been at UCLA for 15 years. How do you wrap around what you're feeling right now in this moment?
It's immeasurably more than I could ask or imagine. It's beyond my wildest dreams. But it's meaningful because of the people I've gotten to share it with. It's all about the heart. And it would be shallow without an amazing village and incredible people that have poured into me my whole life.
These players showed up today and absolutely put on a clinic. What were you watching out there when you saw them dominating in this fashion?
Connectivity, attention to detail. You know, I looked them in the eyes before the locker room and before the game, and I said, I'm so proud to be able to say this, because all year we've been saying the talent is our floor, but our character will determine our ceiling. And I'm just so confident in their character, and that's what determined how they played today.
Corey, you have done this your way, your unique style of coaching. How does that make you feel that you did not waver from who you are and how you want to do it?
It was a calling. It was the calling that God told me to do it this way. And we always said we were going to do it in an uncommon, transformational way. And Coach Wooden always said, you got to do it the way you're wired to do it, not the way anyone else did. And I just tried imperfectly to stay true to that.
Thank you so much, Coach.
I appreciate you, Holly. Thank you.
And they're seniors in Final Four in those last two games, scored all the points. He scored every point, in their semifinal game. They scored every point in the championship game.
That was crazy when they put up that stat. The seniors had scored every single point, so they'll be a different team next year.
Oh, for sure. And Lauren Betts has a younger sister that's on the team, and she did contribute throughout the season, but she didn't score a point in those last couple of games.
Now we'll hear from Dawn Staley following the game.
So obviously we got smacked today. We got to figure out how we smack back and put ourselves in a position where we're hoisting the trophy at the end of the day.
Had a couple of men's tournaments that wrapped up. Both the games exciting, went to overtime. Here's West Virginia and Oklahoma.
Here's Huff with three again, and that's his third.
His ability like that right there to create space.
Again, he hits it.
I'm telling you, man.
Here's Huff going up high to make the catch. Wow! Whoa! Top of the arc, Huff driving, the runner. Got it. Huff wide open. Can't do that. Huff crosses over, step back, and heads. He got it. Baseline, Huff again. Honor, Huff. They inbound it. Now it is. Mountaineers climb the mountain and defeat Oklahoma 89-82. They are the crown champions, and they will take $300,000 back to Morgantown.
Honor Huff couldn't be stopped.
What did he finish with?
High 30s, like 38.
Wow. And then in the NIT, Auburn, Tulsa. Auburn jumped out to a huge lead. Then Tulsa came storming back and tied it up. They went to overtime.
You rarely practice this from an underneath out of bounds.
Overton for the tie. Yes! From the corner!
Still have
7
time.
seconds. 2 timeouts for Tulsa.
Go.
They won't take it.
Go.
Riley with 2 for the win! And we're going to overtime for an NIT championship. Kevin Overton saves the day for Auburn. Lots of time coming off. Riley decides to drive. Left
time.
hand no. Freeman rebound. It's out to Pettiford. And the dunk to seal the deal. Auburn wins their first NIT championship.
I'm just really proud. I'm really proud of these kids. They found a way to stay together and win and beat 5 pretty good teams, and ended up finishing the year with a win and a championship. So incredibly proud and incredibly grateful to these guys. They could have packed it up, and they didn't. These are unbelievable young men with great character from great families, and I'm just incredibly honored and proud to be their coach.
You just alluded to it, the ups and downs of this basketball season. You finish on top. What did this team, this Auburn program, show the nation in the last couple weeks?
They just showed that, they love their university. They love Auburn, and they played for Auburn, and, they showed a ton of resilience, and they showed what Auburn men are all about. So incredibly proud, and, it's a great way to end the season.
Now to Major League Baseball, Angels, Mariners.
Right. There's a drive out to right from Raleigh. Adele's back near the wall. He leaps, and he caught it! Joe Adele! There's a drive to right. Adele is back. He's at the wall. He leaps up. He got another one! Joe Adele! What a night! Lead. Here's Crawford with a fly ball to right toward the corner. It's Joe Adele again near the foul pole. Leaping up! Did he catch it again? He fell into the crowd, so it's a home run. They called him out. He did it again. Shawwell floats it left field. Rosarena makes the catch. Here comes Frazier. Here comes the throw. Up the line. He's saved. Say goodnight to the Mariners. The Angels walk it off on Easter.
Pretty crazy game right there. 3 home runs robbed.
Yeah, it's one of those incredible feats.
Save the best for last, diving into the stands. I was like him, though. I thought once you left the playing field, it was a home run.
No. I mean, it's
not.
not like you can run into the stands and catch the ball and they call it an out. But if you're at the wall and you go over the wall making a catch,
then
it
you're
counts.
still good. We finish up Pirates, Orioles.
Left center field. Carrying and in the gap. left. Here's the throw. 1-0.
Worry about me. My beanie.
Drive to center field. That's hit well off the left-hander. A cruise missile. Topiary Tater time. He's done it again.
Yeah, and how about Connor Griffin, called up by the Pittsburgh Pirates, gets a double RBI, knocks in a guy for his first major league hit.
19 years old.
Pretty cool story.
Yeah, got a lot of baseball in front of him. So Dexter Lawrence, Giants defensive tackle, he's requested a trade. And usually when you see players at this moment, it signals one thing. They want a new contract. They want more money. So he's requested a trade. So probably have had some ongoing negotiations with that Giants organization. Haven't been able to come up with a deal. So he's requested that trade. Sure that maybe this will speed up the process and they'll be able to get him some more money. And plus, at this time, right before NFL draft, this is another good time to put those trade requests in, because if the organization doesn't see that there's an end to this road and other organizations out there say that we'll pay that guy, we'll take care of him, we'll give you some picks and compensate you where you can't refuse it, then you could see a trade happen.
Less than 3 weeks now from the NFL draft.
Another trade that happened in the world of sports, Angel Reese, WNBA. She was traded from Chicago Sky to Atlanta Dream. Atlanta Dream give up 2 first-round picks for Angel Reese. And they're trying to build their roster where they were in contention and played well last season, playoff team. They're trying to get over the hump. And Angel Reese brings a lot to them, where double-doubles in her first 2 seasons. She released a statement, "I'm beyond grateful for the opportunity to join the Atlanta Dream organization. I'm focused on continuing to grow my game, competing at the highest level, connecting with the fans, and giving everything I've got to the Dream." So she seems pretty happy that this move has happened, and it gives her a chance to be a part of a winning organization.
Razorback baseball team put out their the week in the polls. All the polls are out now. Baseball America, D1 Baseball, and the USA Today coaches all have Arkansas ranked number 22. And the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association has Arkansas at number 23. Perfect Game is the only one of the 5 that does not have Arkansas ranked. So their streak of being ranked continues this week. But they need to have a much better week to remain in the rankings next week, or that streak could come to an end. All starts tomorrow night when they host the Little Rock Trojans, a little in-state rivalry game. 6 o'clock tomorrow night, pregame right here on the Buzz at 5:30. Then they'll head to Alabama this weekend and have a 3-game series against the Crimson Tide. By the way, Coach Van Horn spoke with the media today at the Swatters Club and did not give any indication about the starting rotation this weekend. So they're still working on that. We'll take a break. When we come back, phone lines are open. Open segment if you'd like to join us on this Monday. Then recapping the weekend, thanks to Fleet Management Services. Your calls, comments, and I'll check the Middleton Heat and Air text line, 661-1037. It's Out of Bounds.
Chevy Retail Group presents Kevin Bohannon each week on Drive Time Sports with Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer on 103.7 The Buzz. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
This is Sports Center.
The number 6 Arkansas softball team used its home run power and solid pitching from Peyton Burnham to blank Auburn 4-0 in Fayetteville on Sunday. The Razorbacks got home runs from Tiana Bell, Atalia Rio, and Kaylee Wyckoff. Ella McDowell was the only Razorback with multiple hits, finishing 2 for 3 with a run scored. Burnham pitched a complete game 2-hitter with 2 hit batsmen, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Arkansas will go for the series sweep at 6 o'clock tonight. That game will be televised on SEC Network. Moving to baseball, Blake Simpson hit a grand slam in the 7th inning for the Little Rock Trojans on Sunday, but it wasn't enough as they fell 8-5 to Western Illinois in Macomb, Illinois. They'll travel to Fayetteville tomorrow to take on the Razorbacks. I'm Todd Pierce for the Buzz Radio Network.
Morning Mayhem on location Thursday at Luxury Pool and Spa in Conway for their 50th anniversary customer appreciation sale, Saturday, April 11th through Friday, April 17th. Save 20 to 50% off store-wide and register to win $50,000 in giveaways. Thursday morning with Morning Mayhem on location at Luxury Pool and Spa in Conway.
When work needs doing or the trail calls, you need a machine that's ready for both. Honda's line of Pioneer side-by-side. Choose the Compact 520, the powerful 700 series, or go big with the 1000 line. Built for 3, 5, or 6. Visit Honda of Russellville or HondaofRussellville.com today and find your perfect Honda Pioneer side-by-side. For your safety, read the owner's manual and wear a helmet and eye protection. Always wear a seatbelt and close the side nets and doors when operating. Honda side-by-sides are for riders 16 and older.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices. Like ping pong. Right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. I still vividly recall the first time I ever heard the Hogs called in person. It was at War Memorial Stadium right after I moved here in 2001. It was eerie, goofy, cultish, and really strange. It was also menacing, telling foes and visitors alike that you were in danger, as the Razorback's here to mess you up. For the uninitiated, it is very intimidating. A totally original, unique, and threatening gesture that is truly sui generis in a category by itself. Now let's go call those Hogs. Stop by Doublebee's to get a hot, fresh, delicious sausage biscuit. They rule. You can pair that with a hot, fresh cup of bean-to-cup Renoco coffee, and you are off to a productive morning. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
It's Justin Aker for The Zone, and coming up on the Tuesday edition, we are going to be talking about the Travelers opening day with their manager, Rich Thompson. He'll join us in studio, get you set for the Travs' first game over at Dickey-Stevens Park. We've got a special event coming up and a very special concert opportunity for you that we'll talk about as well. And Susan Irwin-Prowse, speaking of concerts, will join us in studio with the Entertainer's Guide for the week coming up. Also, What's on Tap presented by Flyway Brewing, and a whole lot more. It is The Zone, where sports and entertainment.
Out of bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union Studios.
Wait a minute, this love started off so tender, so sweet. But now she got me smoking out the window.
Must have spent 45,000 up in Tiffany's. Oh no! Got a bad and kids running around my whole crib like it's Chuck E. Cheese. Put me in the jam with an X-Men.
Welcome back. It is Out of Bounds. Thank you for joining us. Joe just got a little breaking news in high school football in the state of Arkansas. It's kind of a big move. Not kind of, it is. You know, we all knew with Anthony Lucas leaving Pulaski Academy for Fayetteville, that would open up the job at Pulaski Academy. They have just announced. Here is an email from the school. We are proud to announce the hiring of Mark Kelly as the new head football coach. Coach Kelly arrives with an impressive resume in Arkansas high school football and a proven track record of building elite, high-performing programs. Coach Kelly, by the way, last year was at Sylvan Hills. Just a remarkable turnaround at Sylvan Hills. They had gone 0-10 for 2 straight years, and last year they trying to think what they finished. Was it 11-1, 12-1? Lost 1 game, tied for a conference championship. And he was named Coach of the Year by several publications, but just an outstanding year at Sylvan Hills. And He is now the new head coach. They were 10-2 last year. It's in the email. 10-2 last year at Sylvan Hills. Well, congratulations to Pulaski Academy and Mark Kelly, their new head coach.
Absolutely.
Phone lines are open, 661-1037. 661-1037. I'll check the Middleton Heat and Air text line. Let's go to Heath. He's in Cabot. What's up, Heath?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's up, Heath?
Heath.
Joe, did you by any chance see the Chisora Wilder fight this weekend?
I didn't. I never looked into it. There was so much going on, but I saw some of the talk from it, but didn't get a chance to go watch any of the fight.
Well, you certainly didn't miss anything. It looked like two old guys out there just throwing haymakers. It was a little comical. I mean, bless Chisora's heart. He should have retired 5-6 years ago, and I don't know what's wrong with Deontay Wilder. He's got some serious mental issues. I don't know if you saw any of his interviews or like some of his segments on any of the talk shows prior to the fight, but this guy, somebody's got to tell him to stop talking because it's just embarrassing. Like, it's really, if you didn't see anything, Joe, I urge you, go YouTube some of it, and I promise you, you can't make up these stories. You will laugh and you will just go, why is somebody not telling him to stop talking?
Yeah, well, he's done that over the years, so no, nothing would surprise anybody by what Deontay Wilder has to say. But one thing I did see out of that is after the fight, they're right next to each other, and then they shared some food and all kinds of stuff. So this was clearly about both fighters trying to get paid, and in Deontay Wilder's case, maybe trying to continue his career a bit as much as he can. But yeah, these two guys trying to get paid.
Well, I'll tell you what, Usyk is such a nice guy. He's such a humble, nice guy. It would not surprise me if he gave Wilder a title shot at some point. I mean, he has talked before about wanting to fight him, but I mean, I don't think it's a good fight to be made. But it just wouldn't surprise me. Usyk being such a humble, nice guy, he might give him another title shot. And I mean, in that case, anything can happen. But anyway, I was just curious if you had seen any of the fight this weekend or anything leading up to it. But again, you didn't miss anything, so I wouldn't bother, looking up the highlights. So that's all I got, gentlemen.
Thanks, Heath.
Appreciate it, Heath.
We can take some more calls, 661-1037, 661-1037. Now over on the Arkansas Best Chevy Dealers live fan feedback, the mailman, will UConn win their third title in 4 years, or will Michigan sing Hail to the Victors? Wolverines favored by 6.5. Are we all tired of UConn's coach? How about a close game?
Michigan has been in a number of title games, too, and they've won once. So that's another kind of storyline that's out there. Is Michigan going to be able to get over the hump, or are they going to have another title failure?
I was just looking in Bet Saracen for the very latest odds. Michigan is favored by 6.5, over under 146. We'll keep an eye on that. If you want to get involved, Bet Saracen 146 for the over under. Michigan favored by 6.5. I feel good about Michigan winning it at 6.5. I'm just not sure because of the respect I have for UConn and that defense, and they can score. I mean, I thought Brian Edwards. I thought Aaron Torres had a really good point earlier today. If UConn shoots the ball like they did in the semifinals, they got a legitimate shot of winning this game. Now, he also had the caveat of being a UConn fan that's watched a lot of their games and said that they don't normally shoot like that.
Yeah, he said that was the outlier.
And if they don't shoot like that, then I think Michigan could win this game by double digits. And it could get a little bit out of hand. You worry any at all about a little bit of a, like we saw maybe with the women, a little bit of a letdown after the South Carolina-UConn game, and then UCLA just rolled all over South Carolina?
I don't really see that with this game. Now, could it be a game that gets out of hand? Absolutely, it could be. But usually you see you see these championship games, they're lower scoring and they're closer games, but don't think anyone would be surprised if Michigan has that same type of performance just because we've seen it. But, yeah, maybe a little surprised if UConn dominated Michigan the same way.
I'm glad you said that about the total scores usually being a lower scoring game. I Googled it and looked it up. The last 5 national championship games, here are your scores. Florida beat Houston last year 65-63. So that's a total of 128. Year before, UConn beat Purdue. That score was 75-60. So a total of 135. The year before that, UConn beat San Diego State. I'd forgotten San Diego State played for the national championship. When we were out visiting San Diego State and they had some of the banners out there, I was like, oh, that's right. I forgot about that team. That score was 76-59, so a total of 135. Year before that, Kansas beat North Carolina 72-69, a total of 141. The only outlier, the higher scoring game, Baylor beat Gonzaga in 2021 86-70, a total of 156. So 4 out of the last 5 years, 4 in a row now, have been low-scoring games. Once again, your total on Bet Saracen, 146.
If you're about going with trends, then that's the trend.
All right, back to the Middleton Heat and Air text line. We can finish up over there. 501 says, leave the NIL alone. It's their name, image, and likeness. Blood, sweat, and tears that are making the money that coaches and universities have been living off of. I agree. I'm all for name, image, and likeness. What I don't like is them just straight up paying to recruit. Come here and we'll give you $3.5 million just to play. That is not name, image, and likeness. That is buying a player to come and play. That's the flaw in the system. All right, we'll get back over there in a few minutes. We got to take our final break of the day. It's an open segment. If you want to join us and give me your pick for the national championship game tonight, Michigan favored by 6.5. 7:49 tip. Stick around. It's Out of Bounds.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Down south, a handshake means something, and we let our actions do the talking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is rooted in Southern tradition and grit. Southern-born and raised and Arkansas-based, Brad Hendricks is named a Mid-South super lawyer year after year. So for car and big truck wrecks, medical malpractice, wrongful death, bankruptcy, and Social Security claims, his law firm produces results. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Southern roots, serious results.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Auto, and we get people ask us all the time how we sell so many vehicles. Folks, I believe it's because we're one of the auto dealers out there that are full transparent. A lot of folks are advertising prices online, then you walk into the store and they add a $1,900 or a $2,900 fee for whatever reason. Now, occasionally a car dealer might have a mistake on online price, but if that's your practice, it's just simply wrong. At Red River Auto Group, the price you see is what you get. Check us out at redriverauto.com.
Arkansas, your moment has arrived. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Southland Casino, is officially live in your state. Now you can make every matchup even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, player props, and more, all from your phone. It's safe, secure, and easy to use. And to get things started, new Arkansas customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, just non-stop action. Powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. app and use code 1037TheBuzz. New Arkansas customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 1037TheBuzz. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Southland Casino. Gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-522-4700. 21 and over. Arkansas only. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
There's nothing better than calling the Hogs with your fellow Razorback fans. Now's the time to start making lasting family memories with the Hogs by joining the Razorback Foundation. Annual memberships start as low as $50 per year. The financial support provided by Razorback Foundation members makes a once-in-a-lifetime experience possible for more than 465 student athletes. Your gifts provide scholarships, academic support, training and nutrition, as well as professional and personal development assistance. Razorback Foundation members earn access to season tickets, priority seating and parking, tailgating, invitations to exclusive coaches and player events, as well as discounts to local restaurants and Hog Heaven stores. Your support will help the Razorbacks continue the path of success and bring home even more SEC and national championships. Text JOIN to 479-349-4313 or visit RazorbackFoundation.com for more information. That's JOIN to 479-349-4313. Can't wait to see you on the Hill. Go Hogs!
Hello, I'm Brett Rogers, President of Capital Technology Group. You might know us as Capital Business Machines, but our new name represents our growth as one of the state's leaders in business technology. When you've been around for 80 years like we have, you learn a thing or two about change. But what will never change is our commitment to our clients. We're still the same reliable team here to meet all your technology needs. Capital Technology Group is bigger and better than ever before. Learn more at captg.com.
Out of Bounds on 103.7 The Buzz. Live from the TruService Credit Union studios. TruService Credit Union, your headquarters for auto loans. With TruService, no payments for 60 days and rates starting as low as 3.99 APR on new, used, or refinance your current auto loan. TruService.net for pre-approval. Your auto loan experts.
All right, glad you're with us. We're wrapping this thing up. Last segment of the day. If you want to call us, 661-1037. That's also the number to the Middleton Heat and Air text line if you're watching online. Don't forget about live fan feedback brought to you by Arkansas's best Chevy dealers. Jackson says, I know people hate talking about bets, but what are your thoughts on a 20 finish parlay? Justin Rose, Scotty Scheffler, Xander, Morikawa, Fleetwood to finish in the top 20 plus 1,300. I like Justin Rose, I like Scotty Scheffler, I like Fleetwood, Morikawa. Is he playing well enough to get top 20? I mean, he's got the talent and the pedigree, but Xander and Morikawa would. Xander usually plays well there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys all in the top 20 in ties.
It's worth a shot.
1,300. Sure. Man, I like Justin Rose a lot this week. You know, of course, he finished second last year. He's already won once this year. Farmers Insurance just ran away from the field. I think he had a top 10, top 15 finish at the Players. He likes that course. I think I'm going to put a little something on Justin Rose. Let's go to the Middleton Heat and Air text line. Please announce Sarah Strong ripped her jersey, her own jersey. That's from UConn Fan for Life. From what I saw, the jersey was ripped a little, and then she ripped it the rest of the way.
Yeah. Lauren Betts, something happened with her jersey in that championship game. She had to change jerseys for a while. She was wearing a different number, and then later in the game put back on one of her jerseys.
501 wants to know, Wes, how many coaches are now on the Hogs football staff? It's a bunch. I pulled it up for you. I counted 17 coaches. Got, of course, the head coach, 2 coordinators, special team coordinators, so that's 3, 4. a co-defensive coordinator, and he also coaches in the secondary, Deron Wilson. You got a defensive run game coordinator who also coaches the defensive line. That was Coach Cotton. He spoke with the media today. Cornerback coach, running back coach, offensive line, run game coordinator with the offensive line also, wide receiver coach, quarterback coach, tight end coach, defensive line coach. Coach Wilkerson also spoke with the media today with Coach Cotton. So we'll be talking defensive line.
It's just a better look overall in today's game and how the game has changed. Not only are you bringing players in and out, but coaching staff, it continues to grow. And does that mean it's going to be a better team overall because you have more coaches? Not necessarily, but you have more eyes paying attention to detail within a team, and that's just the way that sports keeps evolving.
Yeah, I was talking with Tay Lockett, and I was asking about the install and how things are going. He was like, "Man, it's great. We'll start off with Ron Roberts, and then we break off into they start with Coach Silverfield addressing the whole team. Then they break into the defense offense, and Coach Roberts will talk to them for a little bit. And then they break into their own position groups, and he was talking about CJ and how CJ can even help simplify it even more, what Coach Roberts is wanting to do just for the safety position. I had to look it up. CJ Wilford was the new safeties coach because they've got a DB coach and a secondary coach and a safeties coach. But this with football and how it's now, you're learning all these different positions, not only your own position, you got to have these different position coaches. But 17, to answer your question. Plus, they have the head strength and conditioning coach and all of his guys that help him in strength and conditioning. So I'm talking about 17 on the field coaches, but then you got your strength and conditioning staff. 501 writes in, "Guys, I absolutely love March Madness." Me too. But I'm just sick and tired of CBS using NBA guys for halftime and pre- and post-game content. Bring in Dari, bring in Pat, bring in college guys that have covered these teams all year, know the rosters, tendencies, and coaches. It is painful listening to the NBA guys fumble through everything, then have to correct themselves. To us college fans, it's awful broadcasting. I hate it. Thanks for the comment. I like Chuck. I like Charles Barkley. And I know he says some things sometimes that are wrong, and you get the feeling that these are the first, maybe the first time he's ever watched this particular team play, because maybe it's true. But I just enjoy what he brings. So he doesn't bother me. But sometimes I do wonder, could they not get some guys who are more familiar with the college game and have been watching college all year long and not focusing on the NBA only?
Well, it's part of that package where you have CBS, TNT, TBS, and, of course, TNT's coverage has gone away, but that was part of that agreement. And Chuck and Bruce Pearl were at that NIT championship game for Auburn. They were going crazy.
I saw the Twitter video of, who was it, Telford, shaking Barkley's hands or dapping him up over on the sideline. Coming up tomorrow, Coach Z will join us. That'll be nice. Get to talk to him about the portal, guys going into the portal and who Arkansas is targeting. Portal opens tomorrow. And, of course, we'll break down the national championship game. Should be a fun show. Hope you can join us, but stick around. Drive Time Sports is next.
Listen to Morning Mayhem for your chance to finish the lyric with Justin Moore. Brought to you by Rainbow Rest